Все вместе. Какие ваши доказательства?
They want you to comply.
Cancel culture is about canceling.
Кокаином.
Up yours. Woke moralist.
This is systematic bullying that's happening.
Up yours.
And they believe that they can then
Woke
shut us
moralist.
up.
Not only can you take a load, you can take the ultimate load, and even better than that you find your true calling and destiny in your willingness to take the ultimate load.
They seem animalistic is what I mean.
No, they're worse than animals. Up yours.
The woke mob, they ruin everything.
They stopped
Woke
Ben
moralist.
Shapiro from going to events and speaking. They stopped Ann Coulter from doing it.
I will never surrender even a single inch of ground to a pitchfork mob.
You never cave to the mob.
We will never bow to the mob. Ever. No matter what.
Have it your way, buddy. You sons of bitches. Beta! I did everything right and they indicted me.
Do you see the final expression of cancel culture in terrorist groups like?
We'll see who cancels who.
Hello, everyone.
Hey. How's it going, friends?
That was great.
What
That
a-
was
what
a
a-
great intro.
You like that? You like
Yeah,
it?
that's all Mike. That's all Mike.
And Lance did it as well.
Oh, Lance did something? I didn't know. Well, yeah. Thank you, Lance, too.
Yeah.
Our guest today, everyone, Brandon Sutton from The Discourse, and also you might know him from Thursdays on The Majority Report. We were just on earlier today.
A little show, you may have heard of it. It's called The Majority Report.
Right.
I'm Sam Cedar, actually. Yeah, it's a
Happy
long
to
time
have
no
you here,
see.
Brandon.
Happy to be here.
Yeah.
And Brandon's burning the midnight oil to
Yeah.
spend time with us today. I'm really excited that he was able to join us.
Yeah, we appreciate you being here, Brandon, even though it's late. We were talking before the stream that the last time I did a stream with Brandon was 2016 DNC convention. It was so long ago.
Oh my gosh. It feels like just yesterday. It's been 2016 for at least 8 years.
Yeah, we're old now, my friend.
It's fine.
Bernie looks
Yeah.
the same though, so nothing's changed there.
Yeah, Bernie hasn't aged. He's just always been 85.
Bernie looks the same, but Biden doesn't.
No.
No. There's been a fall off there for sure.
Yeah. For those who are wondering, Lance won't be here today, but I think Rebecca's going to stop by later on. So just FYI.
So,
All right.
what's going on this week? I have a bunch of I don't know. This is
Well, I mean,
for a laugh,
I feel like
guess. A bunch of Trump
I
clips because he gave a press conference today and it's all
Yeah.
fucking wild.
was gonna
That's
say, I
huge.
feel like we need to start with that, right? I mean, that's
Okay, we
Yeah.
can start with that.
that's
Well, hang
the
on.
big
Let me-
story of
I have
the day.
something more
Let's talk about it.
important, David, real quick. Just a quick
Sure, go
matter
ahead.
to attend to. We're going to have to call up Nephew because I log on onto YouTube today, and this is what I see in my sub box. Get a load of this shit.
What the hell?
I
7
see our
hours ago.
faces.
What did he post? Kamala's own fans turn on her.
Me and you.
You know what's
Me
funny?
and the fan.
I got the YouTube notification for that, and I'm like, oh, I guess he's talking about like the protests because he always does like these clickbait headlines. I didn't think I'd be in the fucking thumb. What do I have to do with this?
I watched it. You're mentioned for like 5 seconds, and he shows a retweet that I did of Matt Leck. So Sabibi, if you're watching this,
Oh my god!
we're gonna have
But
to
you're
have a
in it
talk,
because you
young
retweeted
man.
somebody else. That's
Doesn't
hilarious.
doesn't he do a lot of like lefty YouTube drama stuff? Like, isn't that his thing? Like, isn't he like the TMZ?
He used
for
to. I thought
lefty
he was off that,
YouTubers?
but clearly he's back on.
He's back. He's back, baby. Look, I
We
will
should
say,
have him on the show sometime.
I
That'd be
told him
fun.
to come on, and I think that he is going to do it over the summer. But like, look, to be fair, never a bad day to be clickbait on a Progressive Voice video. It's a sign of respect.
No.
But Sahil,
No, it is a good day.
the biggest fans, Sahil, you're going to do us like that? Come on, man. Come on.
Well,
All right, so let's get to this. Let's get to
this
this
Donald
Trump
Trump press conference. I'm not sure what. Again, this is. I feel like it's whenever he does one of these things, it's just what else do you expect? So it's no longer really surprising, but it is funny. He is still, I can't help it. He's still hilarious.
This one was like unhinged.
I got
though.
like 8 clips. Like this is
This one was like, I'm not saying Trump's never been like this before, but this might be the first time he's been like this since like a couple of weeks ago when they did the whole, oh, it's a different Trump now. He was almost assassinated and he's a changed man.
Yeah, no, this is salty Trump. He is angry that Kamala Harris is getting big crowds. I'm not sure. So there's a clip about that. I'm not sure if this is the one, but we'll get there at some point.
Too. And I said peacefully and patriotically, which nobody wants to say, but I said peacefully and patriotically. The biggest crowd I've ever spoken to, and you've seen, Maggie, I was at the mall. I was at the Washington Monument. I was at the whole thing. I had crowds. I don't know who's ever had a bigger crowd than I have, but I had it many times. The biggest crowd I've ever spoken before was that day. And I'll tell you, it's very hard to find a picture of that crowd. You see the picture of a small number of people relatively going to the Capitol, but you never see the picture of the crowd. The biggest crowd I've ever spoken, I've spoken to the biggest crowds. Nobody's spoken to crowds bigger than me. If you look at Martin Luther King, when he did his speech, his great speech, and you look at ours, same real estate, same everything, same number of people. If not, we had more. And they said he had 1 million people, but I had 25,000 people. But when you look at the exact same picture, and everything's the same because it was the fountains, the whole thing, all the way back to from Lincoln to Washington, and you look at it, and you look at the picture of his crowd, my crowd, we actually had more people. They said I had 25,000, and he had 1 million people, and I'm okay.
What?
They actually cut him off. He just kept going about the crowd size. He clearly saw the crowd. Let's see if I can find it. The crowd in Michigan for Kamala Harris yesterday. And I was impressed. I was like, holy shit.
But what is he talking about? MLK had 1 million people. I don't think anyone's ever said MLK had 1 million
I
people.
think he's confusing the March on Washington led by MLK for the Million Man March led by Louis Farrakhan, which, to be granted, a lot of people, I mean, maybe MLK also had 1 million people, but I think that's what he's remembering because that happened in like in the 90s, the Million Man March happened. So that's probably fresher in his memory. But in his defense, a lot of people call Trump the white Louis Farrakhan. That's that's one of his many like nicknames.
That's totally what it is. I just looked it up. MLK had 250,000 people there for his 1963 March for Civil Rights. So he is totally confusing the Louis Farrakhan one with MLK.
Oh my fucking goodness.
To be fair, I don't know if Louis Farrakhan had a whole million people there.
No, he definitely did it, right?
That might have just been like branding. Although I will say, slightly, off topic, I watched this YouTube video last night. There's like a fight club out of Brazil where like they specialize in one guy fighting like multiple men at one time. And I feel like that had a bigger crowd. This like one dude fighting 3 guys at one time had a bigger crowd.
That sounds like fun to watch, actually.
He won. The guy won. Yeah, because it's like one MMA fighter versus like 3 not MMA fighters.
Oh,
so,
my God.
He just like chokes them out like sequentially. Pretty good.
This has like one in each arm, one under a leg.
Yeah, but I mean, the crowd was huge. They loved it.
I would watch that.
I'll send you the video. Yeah, it was pretty good. You can't help but like root for the guy. He's getting like jumped, and then he just like gets one in the guillotine, and he's just like, they're like, oh, Diego, you got him.
Don't show Trump that. He'll feel like that's him. That's me. I'm that guy fighting 3 people at once. Here, I think he saw this crowd. Like this is pretty impressive. I cannot play that song. But
right, yes.
Well, I will say, since there's no music playing, that Trump is kind of like a ratings like guy. He's a big ratings guy. Some people say he even ran for president in 2016 to get The Apprentice back on air. I can't speak to that. I assume it's true.
I remember that going around.
This burns him up. I think this burns him up. I think that these crowds coming out for Kamala burns him up. I think, the fact that JD Vance is a loser and could not pull a crowd this large if, I hate to say it, if he was on fire. It bothers him.
JD Vance is getting like he's like following the plane around for some reason.
Oh,
in
yeah.
every city, and he gets like 20 people to come.
I think people would show up to catch JD Vance on fire. Honestly, I think that actually would draw
The live
a
stream,
crowd.
maybe. I don't know if that actually show up there in person.
Did you see Kamala HQ made a Truth Social account, or they've had one, but they've been posting crowd sizes on Truth Social, comparing Kamala's crowds at the same venues to Trump's crowds, and I feel like it's getting under his skin.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, it is.
That's a great idea, and I'm just shooting this out there. It's very inappropriate, but like they should make the graph shaped like a penis. So like the depicting how big the crowds are, like by size of like a column chart or bar chart, whatever. I get those confused all the time. That's representative like a dick, and like so his would just be smaller. That would lose their mind.
All right, here is something else he's ranting about.
She's
Oh wait, this is about the VP pick.
radical left person at a level that nobody's seen. She picked a radical left man that is he's got things done that he has positions that are just not, it's not even possible to believe that they exist. He's going for things that nobody's ever even heard of. Heavy into the transgender world, heavy into lots of different worlds.
Heavy sounds
like lots of different worlds.
It sounds like Tim Walsh is like a Ready Player One character or something.
Exactly. Transgender world is the new Mario level in Super Mario Odyssey.
I've never heard that.
Transgender world.
I think
the transgender world.
I think that was less him forgetting or not knowing what to say and more him trying to remember like what stupid crap Republicans are inflamed by this week. Cause he said it in the past. He doesn't get how they've just pivoted to transgender stuff. Like he's said that specifically. And so I think he has to remember like what they're into. Like your dad trying to remember like what's the name of the, like, what are the names of the Power Rangers when you're a kid? And he's just like, oh, there's.
Yeah. He clearly does not care. Like he has to pretend to care about these issues. He's just running because he doesn't want to fucking go to jail. Like he just likes the attention.
Very uninspired this time.
He's got positions nobody's ever seen.
All right, this is about Elon.
Yeah, the Elon Musk. So yeah, sure. So Elon called me. As you know, he endorsed me full-throated. Great endorsement.
He did not just fucking say that.
With that one call, Elon has called Donald Trump more times than he's called most of his kids this year, for sure.
Right.
Definitely. Oh my God.
You know, he endorsed me full-throated. Great endorsement.
Oh
I
my
respect Elon a lot. He respects me. And not easy for him to endorse, to be honest with you. You know, it takes courage.
I
to
bet
endorse
full-throated. That's difficult.
People.
Go
Many people
Elon.
have courage and many people don't. He does have courage. And Elon endorsed me, and he asked me whether or not I'd do a show on Monday, and I think it's going to be Monday night. And I believe he's the host of the show. So it'll be very interesting. A lot of people are talking about it. I look forward to it. That'll be done on Monday night.
That's going to be a terrible show. Elon hosting a show.
Is it going to be an X?
I would imagine so,
Yeah,
right?
it has to be.
So that means it's going to be audio only and not video?
No, they do video now. Is it going to be live?
Oh, do
I
they?
guess?
Okay.
Yeah, like Tucker Carlson has video on his show. Like when he had the Obama blowjob guy on, that was like full HD for some reason.
Oh, that's true. So it might not be live. Maybe it's pre-recorded or something like that, unless they can stream video. But either way, that's going to be a train wreck.
Do you remember when he? Yeah, do you remember when he tried to launch like DeSantis's election campaign on X to everything after it just kept crashing? Like it couldn't even handle like 100 people simultaneously. It just like kept crashing. I don't know. Elon has already backed out of the whole $40 million per month thing, and now he's going to be hosting Trump on Twitter. I don't know. I don't know how it's going to play. Like no one uses Twitter anymore, but Nazis. So
it's going to be good for the content. I will say that.
I feel like Trump is gonna ask him that on air, right? Like, what happened? What happened to the 45 million that you said you were gonna give me? Like, that's gonna be very awkward because Musk is just gonna start stuttering because he's never very good.
Yeah, yeah.
Go ahead. On what?
So he's asked about Florida's abortion referendum.
Well, I'm going to announce that. I'm going to actually have a press conference on that at some point in the near future, so I don't want to tell you now. But
that was it. Okay.
No
I'm not even sure what that is.
That's someone asked him how he's going to vote on. I think Florida's going to have like a referendum on abortion. So they asked him how he's going to vote, like as like a voter, like as a citizen of Florida.
Mm-hmm. I guess
I think that's what the question is. Well, I think he decided doesn't want to say what his. Maybe he hasn't, but he's not. He's clearly not sure what he needs to say.
I don't think he knows
good.
that there is a referendum, which is why he's
right.
It's possible. It's totally possible too. But
yeah,
they're stuck when it comes to abortion. They're stuck in this position where like they can't be as anti-abortion as they want because then they're going to lose the vast majority of America. But they also can't be as pro-choice as the rest of the country wants them to be, because then they'll lose their base. Like they're trying to, they're stuck between a rock and a hard place, and they can't figure out how to sort of get around that.
Yeah, I'm still reeling from the week that he's had. So when Tim Walz was announced, you all know by now, their team put out the statement saying that Tim Walz allowed convicted felons to vote. My guy, you don't want to make this argument. He then posted fan fiction of Biden making a comeback at the DNC convention and saying it was rigged and he's taking it back. He posted that fan fiction on Truth Social. What are you doing? So embarrassing.
Yeah, he was just like wishful thinking out loud. Like, are they going to bring Biden back? And it's like, what does he call Kamala now?
Kamala.
Kamala?
Con Mala, like, because she's a con artist. That'd be good.
That's a better one than Kamala.
Right.
Or
yeah, it doesn't make any sense to me.
They definitely didn't go with the smart one that you chose.
That's the first thing that came off the top of my head. It's like 3:00 here in the morning. So, it's not the best idea. I mean, I feel like in the debate that he had with Biden, he kind of workshopped, just like floated a good excuse for the abortion thing, which is that we're just returning it to states' rights. But I don't think people really are buying that because the rest of the Republican Party has been so militant in what they actually want. Like, it's impossible not to hear from both Republican Party politicians, your Marjorie Taylor Greens of the world, who are less media trained and less savvy about how to get over this hump, and just the more virulent fans that they want this to be a nationwide ban on women's reproductive rights. And, that's just not popular. It's now, 50+% of people in this country are women. So they tend to like having autonomy over their bodies.
Women.
Or so I've heard. I know this is like a panel of like 4 dudes. So I'm just like, I've known women before. Some of my best friends are women.
I have a woman friend, and I have a good relationship with my mom. So I can speak for women.
I mean, I think certainly they don't want JD Vance speaking for them. That's like a universal. I can say that with 100% certainty.
Worse than Biden. And she's actually not as smart. Okay? She's actually not as smart. That's hard to believe, isn't it? Yeah, please.
Can I have a political question, but I want to ask a follow-up to one of the abortion questions.
Okay.
There are other things the federal government could do, not just a ban. Would you direct your FDA, for example, to revoke access to mifepristone? That's one of the things.
So you could do things that would supplement, absolutely, and those things are pretty open and humane. But you have to be able to have a vote, and all I want to do is give everybody a vote. And the votes are taking place right now as we speak.
But
there are many things on a humane basis that you can do outside of that, but you also have to give a vote, and the people are going to have to decide.
I don't think he even knows what mifepristone is. I think he just generalized an answer there.
Yeah.
He's weak on specifics. His answer was, yeesh. He did not know what the fuck to say.
With Hillary Clinton, I could have done things to her that would have made your head spin. I
Oh.
thought it
Whoa. Hey now.
in jail. And then I see the way they treat me. That's the way it goes. But I was very protective of her. Nobody would understand that, but I was. I think my people understand it. They used to say, lock her up, and I'd say, just relax, please. We won the election.
I'm sorry. When did he ever do that? When did he ever say "relax, please" to the lock her up chance? Like what?
I still can't get over. I could have done things to Hillary that would have made your I want to know what he's talking about there. Whoa, wow, wee, wah. I mean,
oh my God.
It. They used to say, lock her up, and I'd say, just relax, please. We won the election. I think it would be I think it would have been horrible for our country and we had her between the hammering of all of the files. And don't forget, she got a subpoena from the United States Congress. And then after getting the subpoena, she destroyed everything that she was supposed to get. I thought it was so bad to take her and put her in jail, the wife of a president of the United States. And then when it's my turn, nobody thinks that way. I thought it was a very terrible thing. And she did a lot of very bad things. Pretty sure he many times lock her up. I'm pretty sure he joined in those chants a number of times.
Mm-hmm. He couldn't get it done, impotent. That's the name of the game here.
And the fact that he's so sexist, he reduces her to the wife of Bill Clinton, as opposed to like the fact that she was
Former
the candidate.
Secretary of State.
And yeah, Secretary of State, the senator, like Jesus Christ. Wow. Insane. I think I have one more.
I can't. Relax, please. The famous Donald Trump quote. Relax, please. Don't you have that saved on? Don't you have that saved on your soundboard, David? That's how infamous that Donald Trump quote is.
I love when he like.
I should save that this one actually.
I have a soft spot for when he portrays himself as like a moderating force because he loves to do that. He's just like, everyone was ready to rip her apart, and I was saying no, I was holding him back. It's like, no, come on.
Yeah, the man that has like, he's God. This is like the guy who's almost single-handedly in terms of rhetoric and the culture, just like made things so extreme, and he's pretending that he's the moderating force, holding people back. Like it's so fucking backwards. All right, this is the last one.
I had 1% inflation. I had actually no inflation because if you look at the categories, we had just about no inflation. But I had a very minor. I actually had a positive inflation. It was a perfect number. Because you don't want. I mean, I'm not going to give you a whole course on economics, but
please, Donald.
Please.
If only we were so lucky.
If you look at the categories,
micro and macro.
We had just about no inflation, but I had.
Oh, that's repeating itself. All right, God. Oh my God. Yeah, not going to give us a lesson on economics. Thank you for that. There we go. Trump being ridiculous. I got nothing else to add to that.
He's spiraling.
He's not doing good. He lost his mojo, and the good thing about him is that people still want to hear him speak, even though he lost his mojo, because as he kind of like spirals, he becomes funnier somehow, but he's going through something right now.
It's hard out there for him right now. Those final weeks where Biden was still in it. He really was walking around. I remember the news reports. He was like calling world leaders. He was acting like he was already in the White House. He was like so sure that, oh my God, everything's going terrible for Biden. I'm up in all the polls. I mean, he went with J.D. Vance apparently because they were just like, fuck it, who cares? We're gonna win. You can pick.
He was picking out the curtains for the Oval Office already.
Right. He was like doing all this stuff. He was acting like he was already the president, and now everything has flipped on him in a matter of what, like 2 weeks? Has it been 2 weeks?
Not officially yet, right?
I think it's been 2 weeks now, hasn't it?
Has it?
I think it's been 2 weeks, but I get it confused because a lot of stuff happened in like a rapid series, like the assassination attempt, JD Vance, the debate performance from Biden, and then Biden dropping out. All happened within like what, like a 4 to 5 week period of time. Like it was a very
it has been
Right.
It has been 2 weeks. Biden dropped out Sunday, July 21st. It honestly feels like it could have been last week. Honestly, it could have been
Right.
last Sunday. I don't even. Everything is just flying by.
We've all aged years in the last month. Years.
Yeah.
I mean, it felt like a slow, but I mean, it had to feel good in Trump's position. Like he had to feel like he was just being gifted a win from God after that performance on the debate by Joe Biden. But I still have a hard time understanding how they didn't expect him to drop out after that. It seemed like he would have had to. Like the performance was so bad. There was so much pressure. You know, Trump tried to come in, Pied Piper Biden into the race to keep him in there for obvious reasons. But he had to suspect that they were going to get rid of Biden, right? He had to like kind of assume that they could not run him in that state, even if he wished it. But they didn't seem to have any backup plan to it. Like I think they've just been floundering ever since. They squandered the assassination attempt, the sort of positive clout he could have gotten from that with the JD Vance pick. JD Vance has been dragging down the ticket since then. And now they're just, I don't know, they're just leaning into being weirder. Like they've just leaned into being as weird as possible in the last, I don't know, 2 weeks.
And he's been like, this week, Trump has not been out campaigning, which is bizarre. And it's like, while all the, you know, he was in court the whole time. He's like, oh, I should be out campaigning. He has a whole week now and he's at home. Oh, I guess watching Kamala's appearances, because what the fuck is he doing at home? Like he's sending JD Vance out there to chase her plane, and he's no one's coming to his speeches.
We were talking earlier on the Majority Report. I don't remember who brought it up, who pointed this out, but it was floated that Trump is like testing JD Vance right now, and he just wants to see, like he wants to humiliate Vance, so he like, you know, he gets the groveling Vance at his feet. Like he wants to see how much JD Vance will grovel for him. Because that's basically what's like. JD Vance is out there looking like an idiot right now. He's looking like an idiot, right? He's doing the dumbest things imaginable. He's by himself, and you got small little crowds. JD Vance literally was at the ECW. He held a rally at the old ECW arena in South Philadelphia. And he drew 200 people, which I'm pretty sure is less than what ECW was drawing when WWE and WCW were making fun of it as the bingo hall. I mean,
oh my God. I liked ECW for like a year. It was like big. I remember that.
I thought it was great. It was just, you know, everything is pro wrestling. Everything is pro wrestling. JD Vance is at the ECW arena. Hulk Hogan is out there endorsing Trump at the RNC. Someone pulled up an old video, not even an old video, a video from 2 years ago of Jesse the Body Ventura endorsing Tim Walz for Minnesota governor.
Right.
Which, you know, he's an independent. He doesn't usually endorse Republicans or Democrats. And he did to take a page out of Trump's book, he did a full-throated endorsement of Tim Walz. I mean, they should get him for the DNC. That'd be great.
Say that. When I saw that endorsement, I thought it would be awesome to get Jesse Ventura and just have him like slam Hogan for the first like 10 minutes. Talk about how Hogan tried to break up or did break up the attempt to unionize.
Right.
That'd be awesome.
WWE.
They should.
Yeah.
They should do that because it ties back to the RNC and knocks one of the people who endorsed Trump by bringing up that this person is actually an enemy of the labor movement. He literally was a scab on an attempt to form a union. I mean, and it's not even just like a wrestling thing like Hogan was up there talking about how he slammed Andre the Giant and teamed with Macho Man Randy Savage to form the Mega Powers. He'll be actually talking about something relevant to politics. He'll be talking about how a major endorser at the RNC for Donald Trump was behind him eventually getting pushed out of the WWE because he tried to form the first ever pro wrestling union, and Hulk Hogan snitched him out to Trump's best buddy, Vince McMahon. It's like perfect.
Yeah, no, that'd be smart.
Well, going back slightly to Trump holding less rallies, I've heard that it's because he's afraid because he almost got domed. He almost got like 360 no-scoped at that rally in Butler, Pennsylvania. And because I believe the whole like trying to cuck JD Vance thing, I totally see that in Trump's personality. It's who he is. He can't help being that way. But it's certainly not doing his campaign any favors because JD Vance isn't very popular. So like having him go out there to be the face of the campaign is only causing, the campaign to suffer overall. So I do think there has to be some kind of other reason. Like I do believe that along with his inability or unwillingness to pay for venues that are inside and therefore better able to, be secured, there like that has to play some role in this. Like he came face to face with the Grim Reaper and he did not like it. Despite the the immediate aftermath making it seem like he was a badass. Like he didn't like what he saw.
Has he had a rally outside since? Like they had that one inside.
Wasn't he going back to Pennsylvania, like Butler, Pennsylvania, to the place where he was shot at to like show that he wasn't afraid? I remember him announcing that, but I don't remember actually seeing it.
No, he did. He said he was going to go back there and hold another rally there, which, that seems like your tempting fate. But
I would not do that.
Maybe he's looking at it like, lightning can't strike twice, right?
Yeah,
I personally would feel super safe. Like assassination attempts on a president are rare enough to begin with. There was just the one we get once in a generation just happened and failed. I'd feel like, it's definitely not happening again. I'm going out there. I don't even need the Secret Service anymore. I'm good. I'm safe.
Well, if anything, they're going to be on like heightened alert now. Like, so if like the safest time now is to give speeches is now because they're just ready for anything. They're going to make sure it's not going to happen again.
Yeah.
But what if it did? See, that's the thing, right? It's that's all well and good.
He might be thinking that.
Until it does, right? Like they failed once and in a very embarrassing way. And there's no real benefit to it, I don't really think, in going back. People already think it's fake. People already don't think it was real. Speaking to like the pro wrestling element of it. We talked about this on the Majority Report earlier too, where I was like, I don't know anyone in real life who thinks that the shooting was real. Like some of that's my fault because I have been spreading propaganda that it wasn't because I think it's funny. But
wait, what?
Even his fans don't think it's real.
No one thinks it's real.
Most people who I've heard in the streets and like my mother and like just people who I have casual acquaintances with are like, it just seemed fishy to me. It just doesn't, and yeah, it was a little fishy, but it happened. Like a lot of stranger things have happened, right?
Yeah.
So but I think it just seemed too much like a TV moment. Like there wasn't a lot of blood. He seemed fine. I think he did a really bad job of selling it. Like he didn't really sell that it was a big deal. He didn't even go to that dude's funeral. Like he should have gone to that dude's funeral to really like hammer home that like, oh no, someone died here. Like this could have been me. But Trump's ego would not let him do that. And so people just kind of moved on. Like it's crazy. Like that was only 3.5 weeks ago. Like it'll be 4 weeks on Saturday. And people like barely talk about it anymore. Like Republicans
They kind of stepped on it with the JD Vance announcement because wasn't that like the next week? Like that happened, and then like a day later, it's like JD Vance is the VP, and they just moved on. Like they barely talked about it again.
Yeah, to
Rebecca's
your point.
here. Let me bring her.
Hi.
Hey, Rebecca.
Hey.
Hi, guys.
I love your Boys in the Hood shirt.
Oh, thank you.
You always have the best tees. Love it.
I know. I just rack them up from the men's section, like at like those department stores like Burlington.
Yep.
We just lost her.
Well, it was nice having Rebecca on, and there you are.
No, because I was fixing it. I had cleared my cache, so all this stuff I'm trying to fix back up together. Yeah. So.
And our guest Brandon.
Hi, Brandon.
Hello.
No, I don't. How you doing?
Rebecca. I'm doing all right. And yourself? I do like your shirt too, Boys in the Hood. I should get one that says like Baby Boy. No one talks about Baby Boy anymore.
No, do they have Baby Boy shirts? Because I would buy them all up.
They have to. I'm sure they do.
I need to look into that.
Those graphic tee sections are stacked. Like if you go to a Target or something, they're like two for $18. They're good.
You know what's so crazy? They are. But I always get them on the sale. So all the black people at my Target, like the black people on them shirts, they be in the sale section, the clearance. And they only no, it's good for me. It's good for me. And when I go there, they're like $4, like stuff like that.
What?
They'll put them out. They're
Hell
seasonal. Yeah. Everything that was out during Black History Month, they had a little Juneteenth section that wasn't like really talked about. It was just like underneath other clothes. But I said, I know I'll see that next week. Next week, it's in the clearance rack. And it's okay with me because, baby, I'm not paying $20 for that shirt that I know is going to be at a discounted store for like half now. So when y'all get it together, I'll be there. And that's, so Target by me, a lot of their products. I remember they had like different Black clothes or stuff like that. Even the LGBTQIA plus stuff, like they can't wait to put that on clearance. As soon as any of those holidays are up, they throw it into clearance. And so, yeah, that's how I do it. I'm never going to pay full price at Target for anything.
That's true. That's how I feel about Valentine's Day candy. Like Valentine's Day and Easter candy.
Yeah.
I'll give me a whole chocolate bunny on like the day after Easter, $2. The size of a small dog. Last me a whole month.
I want to eat it. I don't know. I can't eat that after a certain amount of time though. Yes, right after Valentine's Day, get the candy. But if I'm looking at that candy in my home, especially the chocolate, I don't eat chocolate. But if I'm looking at that, like that whole thing gets thrown away. If it's like what is the do you guys have an expiration date of your own when you buy those things?
Oh yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, you can't trust what's on the box. Like things last at least, like depending on what they are, they last at least a week after that. Although I also don't have a sweet tooth. I like salty snacks. So I'll just buy candy and it'll definitely go bad. But I'm like, you give me a box of Cheez-Its, those things are going that afternoon.
Yeah.
See,
candy going bad though, I feel like isn't really like candy going bad is what it loses some taste. Like bread for me, I will not eat bread within a couple days of its expiry date, like even like beforehand. Like I'm not.
It gets crazy.
When it comes to bread and mold, I fucking hate mold so much on bread.
Me too.
So
Me too.
I will not touch it if it starts to even like seem like it's a little old. I can't do it.
If I even see like, what is that black? No, throw the whole bread away.
Yeah.
Throw it away.
Like one little white dot. Nope.
No. Like punch me in the face. I
See,
can't.
I'm the type that looks at it and goes, "Oh, let me just pick around those areas and eat the rest."
I feel like you're the kind of guy that waits till it gets moldy and then you start eating it.
This is why the left is not going to make it. You got the far right out here drinking raw milk, getting their stomach juices all immune to all sorts of bacteria, and the left is like, one day past the expiration date, this is going in the trash.
But you know what? I do kind of really. I ain't gonna hold y'all. I am gonna be the grandma because I'm already the auntie, but I am gonna be like the grandmother that has the seasoning that is like $19.99. Like, grandma, throw this away because it's good, baby. That's what I've been cooking all that food with. Like I'm gonna be that person with the seasoning that's a little bit, just it's okay. 2 years, still giving a little taste.
Does seasoning go bad? I feel I definitely have seasoning that is like
I don't
10
think
years
that's
old.
Absolutely.
I feel like
seasoning goes bad, they say. Well, especially in today's day and age. I feel like it's not made like it used to.
I don't know. My grandmother has had the same. My grandmother has the same thing of adobo for like 12, 15 years. She's been working on that one adobo from like the value store for as long as I've been alive.
See,
there's that guy. There's that guy who has that like McDonald's cheeseburger perfectly preserved for the past like 30 years, and it looks exactly the same. So I don't know.
Yeah,
I need it.
No.
Is it vacuum sealed? How does that happen?
And that man is Donald Trump.
No, it's not. Did y'all talk about Donald Trump already in his comments?
We watched
played a bunch of his clips, from the press conference today.
Yeah, I have to ask you guys. Since we were talking about mold, I have to ask you guys. So let me pull
better not be. Don't show any visuals.
It's gonna be
you doing the J.K. Rowling thing, right?
The J.K. Rowling mold.
Let me just. What's the consensus here? Wallpaper or black mold? Because
it's wallpaper.
Okay,
it could be a mural.
I'm gonna zoom in on this.
That's a shadow. That's a shadow. Wait.
No, both sides
look at both walls.
It's all over the wall.
Actually, wait a minute.
It's going
I didn't
up the wall.
realize. Yeah, to me, I thought it was just wallpaper, because if you look at the lower ones on the walls on both sides,
Mhm.
it looks like there's some sort of design and it just wasn't finished or something.
Right.
But then if you look at the upper right-hand corner where the wall meets the ceiling,
That's how
that
mold
is-
grows.
That's the
That's a whole
part that's
colony.
making me question.
It's
Yeah.
like a colony.
Yeah.
Because like,
And-
it's like
and
water
here-
damage that has.
Here's
gotten
one thing that I
worse.
have to show
Yeah.
you. Okay. So I thought it might be wallpaper, kind of, but then I leaned toward. Look at this though. 2020, same wall,
Yeah, but
same
the-
color versus
What's that on the
2022.
side?
It's
Is that
possible
more-
she got like a painting started and then they didn't finish
Yeah,
it.
that's what the
Painting
bottom
a
ones look
mold?
like to me.
Yeah.
it looks like mold.
I don't know.
Yeah, I
she's
mean,
a,
She can't be
she's a
inhaling
British
that.
woman.
That's
They
not
do all sorts of
good.
weird things with wallpaper in their walls.
But
the
the
castle?
funniest
Is the
part
castle?
about all of this, after people started
It has to be, I
speculating
think.
that it's mold, oh, that's funny. So she
Oh.
switched it, and this is her new profile picture. She's got a dick behind
is
her
that?
now. Like
Which
what?
is clearly she did it on purpose because she's like, look behind me now.
You think so?
And
But
it,
she got
what is
good
that?
skin though.
she must have noticed the
Or,
dick-looking thing behind her head.
like,
as she
what the
put-
fuck is
in this
that?
picture.
Photoshop
looks
that
like
out.
a-
What is she thinking?
It looks like a Zoobly Zoo mask or something.
I think
like
it's
from
I think it's like the paw of like a stuffy. It's like a
This raises more questions than the mold to me. I mean, if it's mold, it explains quite a bit because black mold is very toxic.
She's like the most Gen X woman alive. Like she's like their whole spirit animal.
Don't get Matt started on that.
On spirit animals or on Gen X?
On Gen X.
Oh yeah, I think
He
Gen
hates
X
Gen
is-
X.
Yeah, they're worse than the boomers now.
So I mean, you know what? And that's what the what's the kids after us? Generation
Zoomers?
Z.
Yeah,
the
Gen Z Zoomers.
You guys call them Zoomers?
Yeah,
That's what
we
they
call
call
them Zoomers, yeah.
themselves.
Yeah, whatever.
Oh, I didn't look. I'm so new to this. Look, because
Aren't
that's
you
what
a
they feel
Zoomer?
about. They feel like we are acting like Xers, and to them, meanwhile they're still in our, they're still in
we
our
call
whole-
ourselves
What?
ourselves millennials, but we're really called Gen Y. Like that's
yeah,
the official
but
name for it.
nobody ever said that to us, and we
Or
never took it. We
Youmers.
never.
Youmers.
It never stuck. It never stuck. So we were like millennials, and that's it.
Yeah.
I remember it used to be like a curse word, and now we're just I don't know. We're
Well, I think-
we're ancient.
I think that's part of Gen X's problem because like Gen X was the last generation that was portrayed as like cool in the media. Like they had all of these movies about them where they were like rugged and they like I hate my parents, I'm leaving the suburbs.
Nirvana, grunge.
Nirvana.
Yeah.
Like millennials
Spice
were
Girls
like,
had a song about them.
yeah,
Jennifer
like
Aniston, Friends.
yeah, like they were the cool generations. They weren't stuffy like their parents. They were leaving the suburbs. They were moving to the city. They were, being sexy female lawyers in mini skirts. And like millennials were shit on from birth. Like by the time we were like old enough to own things, they were like, no, you can't. And so we never had that inflated sense of self. Like Gen Xers had a really inflated sense of self based on like the late 90s, like or early 90s to like early 2000s media. And that's where a lot of this I feel like is stemming from. Like they're just coming in, the fact that they aren't cool is coming into stark relief.
And
there's a number of Gen X people in the chat who are having debates. Some of them agree with us that Gen X sucks. Some of them think we're being too hard on Gen X. I gotta ask you. Let me pose you this question: do you guys have the equivalent of maybe if you just didn't buy an avocado toast? Did you guys have an equivalent to that? I don't even eat avocado toast. I hate avocados.
I mean, I love me a good avocado toast with a little salmon at the smoked salmon at the top, a little drizzle with a little egg. It's really good.
I've never had avocado toast. Love avocados. Love toast. Never had avocado toast though.
But you got to remix it. I can't just do the avocado and toast together. When you
I could.
remix
Salt and
it,
pepper. That's all you need. Boom.
but I put a little
Mix it up.
smoked salmon. You put it right at the top like that, and it's in the morning. It's really good. And you put a little avocado on there. Put a little cream cheese on that toast, right? Just a nice, and then you put that little egg over easy. I don't know what they call it.
It's a whole.
Oh
and
my
then
god,
put
you
it on
lost
there.
me.
This is a whole meal.
It's a whole meal. But you know where I got it from? TikTok. So
a Zoomer probably.
Go from a Zoomer. Oh
no,
my.
but it was the hands. And let me tell you what I do. I go on and I make sure that I'm not learning from somebody who's like 10. I just like, it bothers me. I don't want it. And it's not that I just can't. I'm like, okay, Rebecca, if I'm going to be learning to cook at this big old age of mine, let somebody else be like, let me learn from, hey sis, you okay, let me see, so yeah. And it's like more American meals because I have more of I cook a lot like a Haitian way, so I want to learn like more like those easy breakfasts that y'all be cooking, and it's good. Like, so I want to, and those, it was 1, 2, 3. I did it in the house. 1, 2, 3. Today I had tomato basil soup that I made at the crib with like 5.
That's fancy as hell, Rebecca.
I did it myself.
I brought up the avocado toasting as to show like how millennials got shit on for everything, even like a food type that they ate, and that was the reason people claimed we couldn't afford like to buy a house. And then Rebecca goes completely into the avocado toasting.
But let me tell you why.
I'm sitting here now going, fucking millennials. What's wrong with them and their avocado?
But we had to romanticize all of the simple things in our lives because all of those bigger pleasures and stuff, like going to Panama City used to be like, oh, you got to go get drunk. Now people are romanticizing it because we can't make it out of the country. We can't. Now going to the beach up the street from your house, you got to romanticize it. Sitting on the balcony in the middle, of the hood, you got to romanticize it. We can't afford the other places. We can't. So this is what we're doing. And they get upset that we do that. They get upset that we are talking about our mental health. We're trying to make meals at the house and use what we got. We don't want to just make college style noodles anymore. We're gonna make it like the pho. We're gonna like all that type of stuff. We're gonna do that. And they get mad that we are doing that. And then the kids, which I love because I love the kids, the Generation Z. And I was just hanging out with my nephews that had them for a week. And those were the alphas, right? Those kids are a different breed right there. Those are little know-it-alls. But the Generation Z, like even their whole style. I know history repeats itself in so many ways. Style, like how we learn, all this other stuff. But everything is like bar for bar millennial. We got cracked on for a lot of this stuff. Like we got joked on how they're still playing us for how, what we're doing with our lives now. And we're whole parents and we're in our 30s and stuff. But these kids are stealing our whole style bar for bar. And they're like, oh my God, the latest outfits. They laughed at me when I wore gachos in school. Okay. They laughed at me when I wore Knickerbockers or the little double shirts. Like they laughed at
They're
me.
bringing back all like the late 90s, like early 2000s shit.
I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I agree. I think the aughts, late aughts to like the 10s were a mistake culturally. Not a lot of good came out. A lot of bad movies, a lot of bad trends in movies, a lot of terrible music. Let's go back to the 90s. Let's have another season of Gargoyles. I'm ready for it.
Right.
I completely agree. The early 2000s culturally were the absolute worst. If I see a movie that came, like if I'm looking on Netflix and there's a movie that came out between the years of 2000 and like 2007, I'm like, I'm not watching this. It's gonna be shit. Wow. It's gonna suck. I'm not watching it.
I can't co-sign that because I love Daredevil. I'll put Daredevil on. One thing that is true about though is like comedy movies. That's why it's funny when Rob Schneider came back and was just like, I got canceled because woke culture. I was like, Rob Schneider, come on, you didn't get canceled for woke culture.
And we're woke culture. Millennials are always also responsible for woke culture. We're responsible for every bad thing that happens. And then I'm thinking about like we had to suffer through this all of our lives. There was something bad that happened every damn like year of our lives. And then now we thought when we got to college that I went to college, I got this education, all this damn money I borrowed for me to come out, and y'all said I needed 10 years of experience.
Oh.
And then on top of that, now the kids is making more money than we ever seen on the internet. They're like barely hitting 5. So it's like, what's the truth? What's the lie? I don't know anymore. So I'm just going to live my life and everybody can leave me alone.
I'm a boomer about that. I don't think kids should be on the internet, at least not
I
on
don't like
social
it on the
media.
internet either.
I think
I don't like
think
them on the
social
internet.
media is bad for your brain. I agree with those. I agree with those.
It's got to be
takes.
hard to stop them though. Like once their friends are on there, it's just like,
Yeah.
what do you do?
I don't have any, so I'm not trying to stop them. They can do whatever they want. It doesn't make me a difference. I just think it's probably not for the best. When it comes to Gen X, though, I feel bad for them sometimes because they're a very divided generation. Like a young Gen Xer is so much different than an older Gen Xer, and it has to do with it's the technological revolution that happened. Like you see old shows from I relate everything to like old CW shows in the early 2000s, but like it's a good like a little microcosm for like the way things were. Like they're millennial. I mean, first of all, Gen Xers are still young. A lot of them are still like just in their like mid 40s, like late 40s, and so they had the option of like riding the first wave of technological revolution, and a lot of them just did it. A lot of them were like in their early 20s when the internet was like coming about, and then they just ignored it. They were like, this is not going to catch on. And then they finally got into it when like they started putting Facebook on smartphones, and now they're all addicted to TikTok like they're kids. That's why they're having like beefs with Gen Zers, like the Gen X, Gen Z beef, like the flame wars that are going on now on like TikTok are just because like
Gen X and Gen Z are fighting. They don't want to fight us no more.
no, I think what's because like
we're nothing to people. We're nothing to people, guys.
It's like their parents' age, though, isn't it? That's why, like,
it's like parents fighting their kids, and like,
Yeah.
but like Gen Xers don't like to imagine that they're parents now. They don't like to imagine that they've become like the suburban parents that they were rebelling from, that they were moving to the city to escape, but they just are.
I was.
You all remember this? This is from 2013.
Oh my god!
Millennials, the me generation.
Oh
Millennials
my
are
God.
lazy, entitled, narcissists who still live with their parents. Why they'll save us all. So he actually did a video, I kid you not, where he LARPed as a millennial.
Oh my god.
He did a video where, and he's like, okay, so I got up in the morning, I emailed my sister, sup. Like, I swear to God, we can watch some of it. I
Is the
swear
video
to
here?
God.
Can we play the video?
Still
It's
do
right
that
here,
to this
yeah.
day. I wake
Yeah.
up every morning, and the first thing I do
First
is
thing
email
I
my
do.
sister, sup.
I send her an email, and I'm like, sup. Yeah, it's as bad as it sounds.
I log into AOL.
The day trying to live like a millennial.
I don't know if this music is copyright, so I'll stop it right there. Check your phone as soon as you wake up.
Talking before on my phone.
Sounds
I did
generic
not
enough.
know I looked like this. I'm not thrilled about it. I put on a millennial t-shirt. What does a millennial
The Who
wear?
is a millennial
Yeah.
T-shirt. What,
Yes.
How old are millennials again?
Is that better?
This
Not good.
At
just
that
has to
time, in the
be-
early, in that time, that's what they was wearing to go to the club.
I love the Kinks. Oh,
What I thought was
Kinks
a
are
We
millennial
used to
yeah.
dress
t-shirt.
up to go to the club. It's
And
crazy.
I'm
Definitely
gonna
don't
get right
think
to
Ray
trying to
Davies
send
and
30
go, the
texts in one day.
millennials.
Okay,
This-
so he's sending 30 texts in one day. That's what millennials do.
only 30 now? Wow, crazy.
But the
2013 was
guy's
like,
not a millennial, right?
Things
He's
have
just trying to
changed.
cosplay.
He's a Gen Xer. This is why Matt hates
Yeah.
them.
But
He's
this-
a
the
loser
worst,
for
telling
this.
you.
I hate to say that. That's so mean. But that's
this just has to be because of like the pivot to
One
video.
must be
One must be a sext.
Say something sexy in your text, right?
where do I know him from, guys? Is he an actor?
Sex tonight.
He looks like the dad from Modern Family. That's what I get.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that iPhone is tiny. Is that how small they used to
That's
be?
how they used to
Yeah.
be really small.
Yeah, what? That doesn't seem like a good start, does it? You have nice boobs.
I'm sorry, that's boomer language, actually.
That nobody says boobs. And he probably spelled it
You have
with
nice
That's
numbers.
like Howard Stern status. Like,
Yeah, no, this is the kind of content that came out like when everyone was pivoting to video. When you had to pivot to video because Facebook was telling you that like you're going to get all these views and all this stuff, and so every outlet was making just garbage, just absolute trash.
They can still delete it though. It's up. We're
No,
watching
it's
it.
up and it's stuck.
A non-essential G chat, like Google Chat.
Is that Gmail?
I don't know honestly.
No,
I
I think that's the
yeah.
Gmail chat, isn't it? Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So this was the part that I think I remember where he says that he sent an email to his sister and he said sup. Like I feel like I'm remembering that correctly.
Okay, let's see.
I've never really chatted through Gmail before, so I opened up a G chat with my sister, and I just wrote "sup." She wrote, "Hey, how's the birthday boy today? Is he in school? How was the party? How is it having Mom and Mike there?" That's a lot from just "sup." I don't want to answer all those questions.
What the?
That doesn't seem complicated. These are just useful tools to have out at once. So I don't feel overwhelmed by this.
This guy has so much charisma. He should be Trump's VP.
Yeah,
Let me
holy
look up
shit.
selfies so I can get an idea of what I'm trying to do. But you should put funny, either
He has
get
to
naked
Google
or
it
put funny
before he
things
does
in
it
your
because he
mouth.
doesn't know what a selfie
You
is.
have to find your good side, right? So
He had to
not the side
Google
with
it?
the zip. So it's like,
Yep,
oh
he had to
my
look
God.
at selfies so he can get an example of what
People
that
been
is.
taking selfies,
And they
even on them old ass cameras.
Yeah.
stay like a millennial. Expect
Yeah, it's just funny because like now all these Gen Xers are like addicted to Facebook too. Like,
Yeah, they're the
Oh,
ones
they
on
live on
Facebook.
Facebook.
Yep.
They're the
Yeah.
ones on
That's
Facebook.
their territory.
because they
And
finally
here
got
he
it.
is making a Facebook account, or I guess posting on Facebook. I'm not really sure.
Joel Stein. What's this guy doing now? I'm looking this guy.
I know we need to find him and we need to bring him on the show.
We're gonna go to
Oh,
Instagram.
there's probably a lot of Joel Stein. So.
I bet you he
Yeah.
has every social media. He's on Instagram. He probably on TikTok.
Yep, guarantee it.
Because them Xers love to be on. They be dancing on TikTok.
We need to make him repudiate this entire article and apologize because I feel like this is genuinely
He has
slanderous.
712,000 followers
On what? TikTok? On Instagram?
on Twitter.
Twitter. And okay, there. he
David,
is.
send him a tweet calling him the F slur.
No,
Do it, David. You have to.
no,
You're
that's
crazy.
mean. It's okay. He did this one shitty video. Maybe he's a nice person. I don't know.
Maybe
Speaking
maybe
of
he's
slurs,
changed.
Speaking of slurs, I don't know if you guys.
Yeah,
have
but wait,
seen-
hold on. He's got 712,000 followers on Twitter, sure. But look at his posts. Look how many interactions they get. Those are fake followers, without a doubt.
No.
Oh
I think
my
he
god,
did-
you're right. 6 likes.
What?
He's just like, I think he's just like an institutional, like he worked for like Time magazine for like 17 years, and so these are just like people who
Nobody
followed
engages with him
from,
now?
Yeah, like the people who followed him from like reading his columns, and he just like tweets garbage. So like no
Yeah,
one
that's
follows
what it
him.
seems like.
What is
Yeah.
his handle on Twitter?
But I bet you on Facebook, he probably that man.
The
Yeah.
Joel Stein.
He's
Oh,
running
the
all
Joel
of the Facebook anti-millennial groups. He's just like the ringmaster.
He's
behind it.
king. He's king.
He's radicalizing your parents right now on Facebook.
That's why they hate us.
But yeah, no, I just totally off topic. But like, you mentioned slurs. Did you see the new Kevin Sorbo tweet?
No.
No.
Oh yes, about it was like racist.
Kamala.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, about like how Kamala should say the N-word to prove that she's black.
No, he didn't.
He actually tweeted this.
He said that?
Okay. What?
Well, I mean, he tweeted it a few. I mean, insofar tweeting something and saying it. It says if Kamala is black,
Here.
really is black. Oh yeah, perfect.
If Kamala really is black, have her say the N-word. Let the people decide it for themselves.
Hercules been on a roll. He's been saying a lot of crazy stuff.
This is why
crazy.
people call you weird.
This is why people preferred Xena. This is just
Oh,
putting this out there.
facts.
People watched Xena and turned off Hercules.
Yeah.
Fact.
Right. That's not the fact that the thought crossed his mind in and of itself is really weird to me. But then he was like, you know what? I'm going to vocalize this to a platform and let people know that this is what I'm thinking.
If you're really an actor star in something.
I just don't.
Damn.
Got him. I just don't get it because, like, I hate to subscribe to colorism, but Kamala is just like visibly black. I have members of my family who are like lighter skinned than she
Than
is. Like, she's
her,
not
yeah.
Logic. Like, she's not like out here like Logic saying the N-word. You're like, okay, well, I guess. Like, she's just visibly
Logic should
black.
stop.
Like you can tell she's seen Love and Basketball. You can tell.
She's Caribbean too.
Yeah.
But it's and I was one of the people. I'm not even gonna hold you, and I can say that with my chest. Like years and years ago, especially when she started running, and not too long ago either. As my criticisms of her still stand, but we'll talk about that after she's seated. But where I'm just like, I've never heard her say in that time that she's black. I know that she went to an HBCU, which to me makes her black, right? I know that her father is Jamaican. And a lot of her friends and things like that. I know that she dated Montel, the host. I know, you know what I'm saying? Those things about her, but I just know that she's black. I know that she doesn't have any children. I know those things. And I know that her husband is white, but her mother is Indian. And there's nothing white about her, but they try to make it seem like if she doesn't represent black, then she has to be. And I'm just like, I know I said that, but there's a video out where I posted it myself on Threads because that's where I be at, and where she actually says it in 2018, where she's sitting down with Charlemagne on the Breakfast Club, and she says, "I'm black. I'm always gonna be black. I was born black, and I'm gonna die black." She said it, and I said, "Okay, that's it for me. That's it."
I can't. It's weird. Excuse me. It's weird that it's even a question because, like you guys said, I knew she had an Indian background because her mother's South Asian, but I mean she black. I mean I don't know where. Why they're trying this. I mean,
where did this discussion, this anger over being biracial, where did it even come from? Like, it's so random.
But they had to.
Like, what the fuck is this?
I brought this up on I forgot where. Maybe it was in my own stream. And I really do think this is the thing. There is like a fringe, like, and I've seen like Ole fighting with these people online sometimes. Like a fringe like group of people online who are black who like say that like if you're from like the Caribbean or something, you're not the same. Like you're
here in America.
Yeah.
I don't want to have those type of conversations here because let me tell you, it gets crazy. It's called diaspora wars. Wherever your boat stopped, okay, they feel like, especially in America, they do it on purpose here. They want to other us from black people and make it. Donald Trump literally had this conversation. That was one of the first things he said in his his debate with Biden, where he was like, the migrants, and we know he's talking about the migrants are still in black jobs. Migrants can be black, and most of the migrants that get the short end of the stick here in America are black, Haitian, and I am, and I know this. And so he said this, and so many black Americans were online and that are Trump supporters are saying this. I'm not saying this is not them, but they literally get on there and say, yeah, these migrants are still in our jobs and this and that. And it starts diaspora wars, and they go after Olay.
Well, I bring this up because I've noticed that some of those the people in that world who view like people from the Caribbean not as black or whatever here in the US, a number of them, have become like Trump people, and I really do think because they've become like the tropey like a black conservative. They've become like the black voice for conservatives because there's just a few of them, and they must know what they're talking about. They're the black conservative. They're Trump went out there and said they're my African American or something. Remember that?
And they loved it.
So I think that this is where that's coming from, where they hear those black conservative Trump supporters who are in that group saying this, and then they now go, oh, wait, this is what black people think, that if you're like, because her background, with her dad, he's not from Africa or whatever. He's from the Caribbean. Like so that means she's not really black. I really think that's where it comes from.
Yeah, I mean, it's to me, it's so they don't even think that deep because they know they know we've all come from Africa. Some of the people remove themselves from that. They just say, I'm a black person in America, and that's it. And since I was younger, I know how the separation, how they've tried to. I've watched a lot of the arguments, especially with my parents my mother who didn't speak English. Most of the people in my family didn't speak English, and we had to interpret for them. And I saw how they treated my mother, even if they had the same skin color. But I saw like the boss would be white and we would be saying like, you see, you're different than that one, or it's like a whole thing that they put in the minds of people. And Donald Trump is that type of person too. We saw what he did with Diamond, and I think her name is Silk. And I know one of them passed away, but the way he did with Diamond, and that's crazy. What he did with Diamond and Silk, and how he was bringing them around as his blacks because they supported him. And we know that was like a money thing, but they're going to do anything and they're going to say anything. We see with the latest rappers, your favorite ones. And I've had this conversation already, but like with the Gen Z rappers, like, what's her name? Sexy Red, who sat down and can have these types of conversations that have nothing else with it. It's just, oh, he funny. Donald Trump is funny. Donald Trump now goes and reaches out to people like 50 Cent. right? Somebody who said back in 2018 that he would never go and support Donald Trump turns a corner, and now he's supporting Donald Trump. And I feel like because there's like a check associated with it, we see Candace Owens, who's somebody who was very far left, but there can only be a minimal amount of these type of Black people in these groups. You don't see them as large bodies of people. Even the Afro Latinos, they down in Florida, where I'm from, okay, they over there, and they will literally be like, I will vote for Donald Trump. They out there, and then they get the Caribbeans. They get the Caribbeans, like the Cubans is Caribbean too, but they get the Haitians in them. And what they do, what's so funny is a lot of the conversations that I have with migrant people in my family, outside of my family, people that I've dated, they get this. It's like they play the game of telephone. Whatever the hell they hear out there, it's pro-Trump stuff, and they get an idea that Trump is gonna help them. And I have to break it down to all of them, like this law, this is what he said. Here is the truth about who told you that. There is like something being given to the people outside. When they come here, they believe that Trump is the perfect pick. They also do a big play on the misogyny, right? Because we know out there in the Caribbean, I can speak for where I'm from, it's very misogynistic. So having the idea of having like a Black woman is problematic. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Why? So they think that Trump will bring more money. It's just a whole bunch of it's dumb and miseducation.
Is it Facebook, or are they stuck on Facebook memes too, where they're just like they're seeing this bullshit and it's being spread?
WhatsApp. They're taking it from there,
right,
and they're putting it in the WhatsApp, and it's like the same vibe. And you'll get a voice note like, "Oh, I heard that Trump is a good guy." Okay, who told you that? What you talking? Like, what? This is not. He can get me into the country. How is he gonna get you into the country? Because it's not. There's no pro. He literally put. I have to explain a lot of stuff to them, and then they be like, "Oh, okay," because they get the new, like, it's just memes, and then they'll be like edited articles. It just goes into the WhatsApp sphere, and that's how they get their information. Strong and wrong. Division spreading fast. Yeah.
On the note of Blacks for Trump, I have to play this video for you, because this fella right here is wearing a Blacks for Trump shirt, and he's asked about it.
Shirt says Blacks for Trump.
Yes.
Blacks for Trump. Are you Black?
No, I'm not Black.
Okay. Shirt says Blacks.
And there's,
that's like sending clothes to Haiti, and they just be throwing stuff on, and they be having on shirts like this. It's terrible. Like, why are these people wearing them? They're not Black.
Oh my God,
I don't understand. This has been a phenomenon for a very long time. I believe it was Romney also had the same thing, where there were white people that were either in crowds or online that were pretending to be like Black supporters of Romney when they were white. Like, I don't understand why they keep doing this, because it's not good.
Remember, he said the same thing. They turned Black, because remember, that's the question that Donald Trump had. He's like, I don't know when Kamala turned Black. When did she turn Black? She's always been Black. But I love how Black people took that too, and we went online and started giving stories about the day that we turned Black. Brandon, do you remember when you turned Black?
Yeah, as someone who was born, I was going to say something rude, but someone born in Brooklyn, I just want to co-sign everything that you said. Like, there's a deep strain of nativism amongst the Black community, because we're all still Americans. That's the one thing that people don't want to acknowledge, that nativism just runs deep within our society. Even like fresh immigrants off the boat will suddenly believe that they are better than the immigrants who came right after them. The person who literally taking the next step off the boat is worse than them because they got here like slightly after. Like, America attracts people who tend to want to like pull the ladder up behind them. And so you do get that kind of intra-Black community like split, because hierarchies breed other hierarchies. Black people want to have their own intra-Black hierarchy where native born like descendants of slaves are at the highest, and like fresh African immigrants are at the lowest. And, that is just another way in which the, working class is segregated as well. But the intra-black generation, intra-black population is segregated. I like to think that I became black when I was first compared to like looking like 50 Cent though. That was the day I knew I had made it.
I
When
can
people
see
were
that
like,
for you.
oh, you're
I
like
can see that
50.
for you. But so people are telling stories online. My story about when I turned black was when, and I was so extra with it. I was just like, I can remember this day like yesterday. It was a hot summer day in Florida, 1996. And I asked my mom to press out my hair. I didn't have a chemical perm yet. And we call that perm, but it was straightener. But I didn't have that in my hair yet. And I asked her to straighten my hair so I can look like the non-melanated at my school. And I remember this like yesterday. She flat ironed because flat iron just came out. And she flat ironed my hair. And I remember I went from looking like, who did I say I was looking like? It wasn't Rick James. But I went from looking like I had an old lady Auntie Preston curl. When I stepped outside, I started looking like Lauryn Hill from the first Fugees video. And that's when I knew I was black. And I said, my mama told me that's magic. That's what makes you beautiful. But this other guy was telling a story. He said he was white and he was bit by a black. And that's when he knew he woke up and he became black. I love that black people took it and were having a field day with it, telling their stories. And they weren't real. We were really going into like a whole thing. But I say this to say, like, Donald Trump really, and then his comments today about how I know you guys probably went over that, how he said that Martin Luther King Jr. with his I Have a Dream speech and the crowd, he said there was 1 million people. He said it couldn't be because he had 25,000 and it looked just the same on January 6th. And then, y'all, this guy, I remember we were so focused on Joe Biden being old and all this other stuff. And it's like, now that Joe Biden's out the way, this is what we're dealing with right now? Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
This has always been what we've been dealing with. It's amazing. I think that like he was built up into this like huge threat by just decades of inaction from both the Democrats and this like willful, malicious, like lowering of the bar intellectually by Republicans. Like the Trump phenomenon is something the Republican Party has been working on since the 80s. Like this like shift away from any semblance of intellectualism. A lot of it got really bad during Obama's time, like because that's what this Kamala thing, not being black, is hinting at too, like the birtherism. Like she's not actually like Black American. She's some kind of like Indian, like I don't know, like she's secretly Indian, but she's not secretly Indian either. She's just publicly Indian. That's what I really wanted. I wouldn't know what her favorite Bollywood film is. Like that's. And
I'm pretty sure she has one because she was born in both cultures and or around both cultures, and she is of both cultures. But Donald Trump didn't want her to be black so bad. He didn't want it because when he started, 44,000 women mobilized within hours of her making her announcement that she was going to run after Joe Biden, co-signed her for that and said that he was no longer going to run. How 44,000 black women mobilized. He was like, oh, hell no, we must stop this. She's not really black, y'all. She's not really black. Ain't nothing black about her. Black people love me. I'm the one that's loved by black people. And that's what he wants. He's so upset because he knows that black people are going to really get together. He didn't think it, but within a few hours, how they all mobilized, and then how black men mobilized, and then how white women mobilized, and then how white men mobilized, and then how LGBTQIA plus folks mobilized, and then how the Latino, it just got crazy.
Now the vaccine injured are mobilizing, and the WoW players.
There's actually a clip. There's a clip that I forgot to play from his speech where he talks about black women.
Mm-hmm.
I do think.
We gotta find that one.
I do want to hear it, but I also want to say before, like, I think this is an example, like this Kamala being the new nominee is an example of why JD Vance was such a weak pick. Had he picked Tim Scott, that would have been that would have gotten a very. It would have been spicy because they would have gotten a certain like type of black guy onto like the Trump ticket who was just like, misogynist. I really think if he wanted to go like hard, he would have got Kanye on that ticket. Like it would have been Trump Kanye. And that would have been
crazy.
That would have been crazy. That
would
would
have been team
just
to
up his
beat.
alley.
But I feel like it was always going to be a white dude because he is like legitimately racist. Like I think people like they don't understand. Like he believes it deep in his soul. Like the racism. Like it's not an act. Like the man is racist.
He doesn't think he's racist though.
Yeah, he doesn't think he is. But he would never pick
racist.
anybody but a white dude.
Yeah.
Big part of the strategy for your campaign before Harris became the nominee was appealing to Black voters. That was something you were really going after. In polls, you really see Harris gaining ground with that group. And I'm wondering how you are going to go after Black voters now that she's the nominee and really winning them over.
Well, it changes around a little bit. I'm getting other voters. Perhaps, I was doing very well with Black voters, and I still am. I seem to be doing very well with Black males. This is according to polls, as you know. It's possible that I won't do as well with Black women, but I do seem to be doing very well with other segments, extremely well with Hispanic. Jewish voters way up. White males way up. White males have gone through the roof. White males way up.
Why is he calling it off like a stock market ticker or something? White males way up.
Way up.
He just thinks in terms of like numbers, like the ratings, numbers. Everything's slotted into like a stat.
Yeah, like it's like Nick Nielsen ratings, like the 18 to 35 demographic.
Yeah, the
Black
demographic.
males are on my side, which that's the way people think about elections, so it's true.
He wants Black women to love him so bad only because I'm telling you, it's like because he heard, oh, they went after Kamala on that first day. I got him too. They love me. They love me. It's like, but it doesn't, you're crazy. Like you're not focusing on how to help the people, and the lies that he's spewing out, they're not even like at this point, it's like he's making up numbers, making them up. You got Marjorie Taylor Greene out here still saying that the election was stolen in Georgia and leading that conversation is very troublesome, but they still have her. And this is a leader. Okay? A congresswoman. And I got a problem with that because, America just shows. Imagine having more of those type of people. Like we got Donald Trump and having those more type of people like that seated and what that can do. This woman is still putting out the lie to a whole bunch of people who refuse to want to know the truth.
Isn't Trump still lying about? I mean, he's still lying about it too. Like,
yeah, absolutely. Now he's trying to
denying.
He never said that. He didn't. Even with So there's this whole thing going around. I know that it dropped earlier today, a voice note. I don't know if you guys talk about that, of him actually siding with Kamala's VP pick,
Walls.
And she Walls. That's how you pronounce it, because I need to get the white man.
Walls. Yeah,
Walls. Okay, so because I want to say it in the way I would think that white folks would say it, Waltz. Okay, so it's Walls. So you pronounce the Z. Okay,
Walls. Yeah.
But he, he had a conversation with Trump and about how Walls was dealing with or advocating for getting the cops who did what they did to George Floyd, and saying that he's doing really great about talking about how the protesters didn't deserve, all that force from police officers and all the other stuff. And Trump was saying that you did a really great job. You're doing what you should do to Walls. And now he's saying something different now. Donald Trump is saying, well, he was supporting that. He's anti this. He's now criticizing him for those efforts. Meanwhile, there's a whole recording of him praising him for his efforts at that time. So
yeah, he's in campaign mode. So it's just
and it's gonna be that. But he's a liar. He's a liar. He goes out there and he's trying to disassociate himself from Project 2025, and that's a whole train wreck.
They're delaying the book now.
Right.
They're delaying the book as a way to try and remove
Which is
themselves
smart.
from that.
Media Matters got a copy though, and it's about them wanting to ban IVF. It's very incriminating, so that's why. And Tim Walz, to his credit, brought it up during a rally, which is actually really smart, because they're trying to run away from it. But no, you attach that shit to them because they're going to do it. Trump implemented the mandate for leadership back in 2017, which was the 2017 equivalent of Project 2025, albeit much less extreme. and they credited him because he implemented 64% of their policy recommendations. So he's very locked in with like what the Heritage Foundation wants, and yeah, he needs to be tied to it. Yeah, I'm not sure if you all saw. So there's a candidate who is running for Secretary of State in Missouri. Her name is Valentina Gomez.
Yes.
And
yes.
yeah,
Yes.
I was devastated that she lost. She probably
came
one
in
of the
sixth place.
She came in sixth place. I'm still coping and seething over this. I was really hoping that she would win. She is by far and away one of the best candidates I've ever seen. I'm obviously joking. No, I don't know if you all heard
because
about
I'm like, y'all gotta tell me when you're joking, because I'm like, was she? And who was that?
Oh,
her
do you want
name
to play
rings
some
a
of the
bell.
videos, Mike? To
Was
show
she
how
the book
insane
burner
I would
she
love
was?
to.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Yes.
okay,
But I think she actually had way more insane videos than the book burning one that made her like, that put her
Right.
on the map.
right. That's absolutely true. So she, by the way, just FYI, when she says pedophiles, she's using that as a synonym for LGBTQ plus people. She doesn't actually mean LGBTQ plus people. And this video right here, I can't play it because she has copyrighted music in the background, but I'll just go through because she has it subtitled. Basically, she is saying that the gays have tried to poison her dogs, and also they tried to kill her dad, I believe. Yeah, they tried to kill my father.
What music is playing behind this, by the
Oh,
way?
I think I've seen this one.
What song is playing behind this?
I
This is
can't
a-
remember, but it's
I
a
think this is-
copyrighted song.
You gotta find one that doesn't have a song behind it, because it's worth hearing this woman, because she's crazy.
So, okay, the one that went really popular is this one. As you can see, there's a slur, so just FYI, people.
Jesus. Oh.
She,
Oh my gosh,
She goes for it, right? Yeah.
She goes.
It even
She goes
captions
right
it.
up there. Yeah, she's a very bold. So this is
Get
in
the yellow
response to
highlighter
the Olympics. So
These faggots should get their own faggot
my
category
God.
because
Whoa.
before, if a man hit a woman, it used to land him in jail. Now, it gets you a gold medal.
by the way, this is in response to a cis woman competing in the Olympics, Imani
Right.
Khalif. So this is her response.
The Olympics. These are the worst.
Oh, and this is actually.
Oh,
it's-
that's all we can play
copyright
that
too.
one, right?
Yep.
Jesus.
Yep. Straight out of Compton.
Could you
okay.
could you go to the very end of the video? She ends every single one of the videos with a still image of her whole that one right there. Every one of her videos ends with this same image of her posing with a gun behind like a wooden picket fence. I don't know
Because
what
she thinks that's gonna pick up those
Right.
Trump supporters, but she got a little Spanish accent in there. It's giving build the wall, lady. like it's
Yeah.
not giving you're part of us. It's giving we should build a wall to keep you out. Okay.
Also, did she say that? Or did she say it's like the worst Olympics ever? Wasn't one hosted by like Hitler?
Yeah, there was one in Nazi Germany in like 39 or something like that. Yeah.
That's crazy.
So also her brother got fired because of her video, where she's saying the F slur, and she has a video about that. I don't know if this is it. I don't want to play because she has copyrighted music in
Today?
every single. Wait,
I don't think there's any music behind that
The
one.
mayor of Jersey City, Stephen Fulop, who is trying to be the next governor of New Jersey, just threatened my brother with firing him, and I caught him on video. Fulop is making him choose between his family or his job. Stephen, you should have chosen your words more carefully with my brother, because you do not sound like a Democratic mayor.
This
You
one
sound
actually,
like a
press
dick-
pause for a second. This one actually is not a great example of how insane she is, because while she does sound insane in the videos, I'm pretty sure that mayor in New Jersey is actually gonna get in trouble for. So basically, he found out that her brother is his chief of staff.
Oh.
And he
didn't
had
know?
donated money to her campaign. And
Oh.
you can be against that all you want, but she plays a clip of him, like the mayor on the phone with her brother, saying that he's got to put out a response saying he didn't denouncing her and stuff, and he's like forcefully saying he's got to do it. And like, listen, I don't like this woman. Her brother probably isn't anything greater, but that mayor's going to be in a lot of legal trouble because he basically admits he fires her brother over his political donation, which is illegal. You can't do that if you're a public employee. So yeah, that guy's screwed just as much as he's messed up just as much as this woman is. Well, not just as much, but this woman's way more messed up. But he messed up too.
About red, it's about
Oh God, she has music in every single video. She's
the
doing that
TikTok
so
way.
we can't watch her videos on stream because he doesn't want the criticism.
I love how you came up with that.
That is a smart way to do it.
It sounds true.
Oh,
Let me
play
see.
the one where she's
think the
rapping
fear
because
of
it's
God
her
is-
own song, so you can't get the. It won't
Wait,
be
I didn't see
copyrighted.
this one. She's rapping in one.
There's one where she's rapping. Yes, let me.
Oh my
find
god!
it for
I
you.
just realized her website is don'tbeweakandgay.com.
Oh, that was her.
That's her campaign website.
That was her campaign slogan. Don't be weak and gay. She has a video where she
That's
says
her
that-
campaign Oh my god!
Yeah,
you know,
don't
I
be
feel like
weak
the
and gay.
gays should steal that.
They should.
Don't be
I
weak
feel like
and
they
gay.
should take it back.
Play this.
Bully would
They
say
should
it.
reclaim
this
it.
woman on the show. I'm pretty sure we played her on the the thing. I'm like 99% sure we've played her before. Where is this clip? Hold on.
We have to
You
see.
imagined her rapping. That's pretty embarrassing, Matt.
Is she a better rapper than Linda Paulson?
Here's another one. I'm just like finding video. I'll drop them for you to play while I look for more. But
Oh my
here you
god! I'm
go.
gonna sell shirts that say "Don't be weak and gay" or "Strong and gay" or something. Like I actually really like that. That could be fire if we reappropriate it.
And that sounds cool to me too.
Yeah, she lost her job over that video, the "Don't Be Weak and Gay" video. She had a job with like
Really?
Purina, the dog food or company. Seriously, and they
Was
fired
she
her
worked
over
for
that.
Purina? I forgot about that.
Yeah,
She
so-
was working
so-
for Purina.
Yeah, so Purina can fire her for those reasons. The mayor of a place in Jersey cannot fire her brother for political donations, just to put that out there. So
Oh, right.
Also, I hate to be nitpicky, but shouldn't it be "Don't be weak or gay"? Because that's going to imply that it's
Well, you
okay to
can be-
be weak
you can
or
be one of
gay.
them.
You can be
Right.
one, but you
Yeah.
can't be both. If you're going to be gay, you got to be strong.
Yeah, you gotta be strong gay. Strong gays are okay.
But you can't be weak and gay.
It's 6 a.m.
There's music here too. What is this?
and I'm doing the 15-mile run from St. Louis City to Gridford, Missouri, without the hundreds of creatures that
It's probably copyright.
Play the next one's her. The next one's her a clip of her rap.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I have not seen her rap yet.
All right, here we go. Oh my god, what?
Oh my god, I'm ready.
I am America first, not benefiting my purse.
This
I
is
never
what I seen.
will raise my net worth. The Second Amendment is there to always protect my first. A better rapper than Lupe, and I don't even have to curse. Let's keep
Why
the
Lupe?
with an end.
Wow, Lupe
Be a-
Fiasco taking
They do for
no,
black lives.
hey.
Politicians promise you the whole world, then they backslide. What happened to Hunter's laptop? You know I'm always strapped up. Gun rights are women's rights.
But she's
Feminists
busy.
been sold a lie. You can mess around and find out. Play stupid games, win a stupid prize. God bless the whole USA, even the ones who hate me. I'm still fighting for you today, and no super PAC paid me. I am a
All right.
Wow.
What was the first shot? What's
was
the shot? this is like just a
That looks like
freeze
a
frame at the
fucking
beginning.
deep fried version of me. What the fuck?
Oh
We-
my
we
god,
play-
that's crazy because it does. Why would you make me see that?
A deep fried version of you. Why does he begin with this still? That's bizarre.
It's that guy's the rapper. It's his song. She does the get. She does the guest.
Oh, can we listen to it one more time? I feel like this is actually good. I'm really a huge fan of her.
That
don't
30
know.
seconds
Stop
felt like
it.
3 minutes to me, though.
It's a little slam poetry for me. Like it doesn't.
Yeah,
have
you see,
that kind
it
of
was
flow.
given.
Yeah.
It was given slam poetry, sixth grade composition.
I just, why would she go after Lupe Fiasco? What did he say or do? I don't get it.
Because he's a black rapper. I mean, I don't know.
It just doesn't like. There's so many rappers that you can go after, and you choose
Yeah.
Lupe
No,
Fiasco.
listen, I don't like when people do that because she literally is so like, what is she? Where is she from? Where is she from? Because clearly,
Yeah, I don't know honestly.
is she Mexican?
I don't know. Like her. I don't know her ethnicity, but she's from Missouri. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm getting
not from
Venezuela vibes. I don't know.
Yeah, something else that somebody's suffering because of America. And so while she's over here trying to do 6 jobs, he's like, please, I know that it's like I hate when they do that. They come over here and they just it's giving.
There you are, pulling
she's
up
not-
that ladder.
She's not right. She's not even serious about it's not giving that she's really serious about this. It's like, you know,
No, I don't
it's-
think she's serious at all.
yeah, she's getting money for it. She's getting views. She's getting but this is always gonna follow her. If she has kids, God forbid one of them are weak and gay.
Yeah,
I have
There's the whole video. I dropped the whole rap video in the chat. If you want to play.
Oh, there's a
do we
whole
have
ass
to? I don't have to
video.
watch
Please
it. I
don't.
wanna
My
watch
ears
it.
are gonna bleed.
We don't need to do that.
I would love to see it personally, but I'll watch it
I
on
want
my
to
own
play.
time.
I want to play this this Nancy Pelosi video. She dropped a bomb today on Joe Biden. This is an interesting little clip from where's this from? The New Yorker.
I feel a little bit uneasy that I am agreeing so much with Nancy Pelosi lately.
Mm-hmm.
I love him so much. I think he's been really a fantastic president of the United States. So I really wanted him to make a decision of a better campaign, because they were not facing the fact of what was happening. Just a little background.
like
I've
it
never
felt his
been
pain.
that impressed with his political operation.
What?
Yeah, I'm not. I mean, I
mean,
just haven't been.
She's right.
They
What
won
is
the
this,
White
old
House.
people's radio?
Bravo. Right.
Mm-hmm.
But so my concern was, this ain't happening. And we have to make a decision
Mm-hmm.
for this to happen. And the president has to make the decision for that to happen. Let me just say, I won't say necessarily I knew what I was doing at that time. I knew what I was doing in the whole thing, not just that show.
And what was that?
That
This is
Donald Trump
giving
would never set foot in the White House
NPR
again.
radio.
I love him.
Oh, it's very NPR.
Wow.
But
Nancy Pelosi.
never
crazy,
impressed
though.
with
Nancy
his political
Pelosi.
operation.
She's
I mean,
she's giving really like, who gives a damn? I'm about to lay it all out. I'm not surprised though.
I mean, she's
Yeah.
right though. Like he was a two-time loser in the primaries, never got off the ground until he was Obama's white friend. Then Obama made a bunch of calls in 2020 to get him over the line and make other people drop out. And he's just been coasting ever since. It's you hate to say it, but he doesn't have like the political skills, neither did Hillary Clinton, to become president by himself. And it showed. And which is why it was so crazy when people were insisting after he bombed that he was the only person who would get the job done. It's like he couldn't even get the job done the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm really
But,
happy that. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Brandon.
No, I was just going to say, but I think I would say Joe Biden deserves better, but he doesn't. But it certainly can't be great to just, to already be like a little bit, senile, to be in senescence, and then you got like all your homies like stabbing you in the back like this, because you be like, I thought we were friends, like literally, and then you find out like you're not.
Yeah, no, this is one of those things. And she's like, I'm ready to really tell it all. I ain't really like you, I used to hang out with you. I used to be in the same circles, but you ain't really even half of what we really wanted. We just put you out there because you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what it was giving. And it's giving old. It just was giving old, and it just smells like mothballs in the room. It was him. It was the guy, the host being like, it was the host. Like, that's so sorry, y'all.
I feel like every week we have to like.
Yeah, look, sorry. I apologize. I'm not giving. I'm not.
Rebecca's going to get the new reputation of hating old people.
Look,
You've taken the award away from Mike.
I won't. I would never, because but it's him trying to gas it. Talk about something. What? Really? And then what? And she's just like, and then I told him, like, you really suck. I like you as a person, but you can't even do the job. You have no balls to do like it's giving. And now Joe Biden, while he's really like, damn, I can't even get a second term. I gotta like really sit in bed with COVID. And I gotta lie about a lot of things. I ain't trying to look like no punk out here. And here she is doing old people podcasts. Both look, headphones on, just squeezing her face off. And like she's just in there, like telling it all. It's terrible. It's terrible.
I mean, I think she feels betrayed, not by Joe Biden's like actions, but by whatever assertion that she got going into that debate that he was going to be all right. I think a lot of people had to cover their butts in the immediate aftermath of that debate to be like, I have no idea what was going on. I had no idea it was this bad. I've never met him before. You're like, what? Like, we've seen you together recently. And
they try to dissociate themselves with that person at the debate. But it's like also
he embarrassed them.
Yeah, but also even people could say that about Nancy Pelosi, right? So like y'all, you don't get to sit here and say that, because I know underneath whatever clip that was, the comment section was going in on her ass too. Because I mean, people can say the same thing about her. There's a point in time you guys are just seated and just rolling through, and you're no longer able to do the job anymore. You're no longer able to, like, it's it ain't there. I mean, I get what she's saying. It's cool and all, but I just feel like it's real messy of her old ass. I think that's real messy.
You're right. And also the truth is she couldn't win a presidential election either. It's like she's been sitting on that one San Francisco seat. You know, she's been like camping there. Homeless people aren't allowed to have encampments, but she's been camping on San Francisco for like 30 years now. She couldn't win she couldn't win the presidential election. So I think it's a little salty. Like, oh, yo, he doesn't have the juice. It's like neither do you. Neither do most of the Democratic Party's leadership. They could not win.
Well, I mean,
that's
she's
why no
not.
one
To be
rushed to
fair,
take over.
oh God, I'm not gonna. No way am I ever gonna get rid of the idea that I'm a big fan of Nancy Pelosi. But here I come to her defense again. To her defense, she's never run because she knows that it's not for her. Like she's not gonna win. Like Joe Biden has been constantly running, even though the world has been telling him
He
can't
really
do this.
wanted the spot, but he got the spot though. He got it. He's been senator. He's been all of these things, but he finally got it. Even though it was like people, like you said, Brandon, he had to put in some calls. He had to be like, but I know, and I did this, and I did that, and I ain't no longer that man from like 40 years ago. But you know, like look at me, and we gave him 4 years. Now
That's politics.
You know, that's politics.
That's politics, exactly.
Yeah, so he did all of that. He's like, I'm not gonna die without being president, and he got it. And he was trying to do the same thing for a second term, and we said no. We already gave you something. Go sit down,
David. David, I don't remember because I'm on so many shows now. But are you the one who has on the soundboard the Biden clip of him saying, "I'm staying in the race"?
No, I wish I should get that. That's a good one. That's Majority Report, I think.
Yes, that is okay. Go ahead, Brandon.
No, I was going to say, certainly, you know, if there's one thing Joe Biden does have over Nancy Pelosi, is that Nancy Pelosi is vastly more corrupt than Joe Biden is. Like, just look at her stock portfolio, and you can see that Nancy Pelosi is just vastly more corrupt. That's why she's also okay with that seat, because she's okay with using her position on those committees to enrich herself in a way that would be a lot harder to hide if she were running for like president in a general election or a primary. So that's why she sits in her seat, amongst other reasons.
Not to turn this into the Majority Report, but there is Emma posted something interesting on Twitter. It's a quote from an interview that Chris Hayes just had in the show. Let me bring this in, or at least a piece of news. So this is 8 minutes long, so let me find the clip would be impossible. But Ben Rhodes, former Obama official who was big on the Iran deal and hates Netanyahu, claims that Harris cannot come out and say there's a whole different policy while serving as Biden's VP. Her national security advisor is another former Obama pro-Iran deal guy, which is what I figured. Like this is I do feel like if Harris wasn't Biden's VP, she would be able to separate herself from his position. But she can't because she's also the vice president. So there's a situation here where she clearly needs and I think wants to do something different. But as long as it's an ongoing situation, and she's the vice president, she's kind of stuck.
I don't think the criticism of her can be on anything actually policy-wise when it comes to Gaza. From I know people talking about it ever since the protest that happened at her rally last night in Michigan, but I do think she handled that very badly. You can't do that. You can't say, what do you just want Trump to win or whatever it was that she said? She said something like that. You can't do that. You just cannot. It just looks bad at the very least.
So let me say this. I know that when I first seen it, it was, the first thing I seen was the clip. And then I went back and I watched, the whole thing about it. I got the background a little bit off of it and things like that. But, I know that it shows her humanistic side, but all of the, it looks bad. But then for some other people, it was like, again, another moment that we made, and we made it into a meme. It was like, when the black mom does this, da, da, da. But the feeling that we can tell that she was getting, we know, especially what she was talking about is what they were there, heckling about or whatever, all for it, right? And I know that they were saying that she spoke with them or people in that same group before.
I don't think it was the same people that protested her, but yeah, she spoke with two of the leaders from the uncommitted movement.
In
the handshake line. It wasn't like an actual meeting, but in the handshake
so that
line.
she would have a conversation about it, I guess, like with them about it and whatever. But the other people were already prepared to do what they needed to do. Okay, so they were in place, and so I think that she, at this moment, she was like, okay, I hear you. Continued on, okay, whatever. And I don't know if they wanted her to respond in that moment. We know what they go to do, and I ain't mad at it. But I also am not upset at her response. But it's like for what it's about in that moment. We're still very serious. We're still very standing 10 toes down about it. So a lot of people were making it seem like she was not caring about that at the moment. She was like, why would she, this is how she's going to be when she's in office when it comes to this, and so that's where I was seeing the two conversations online. For me, I'm like, naturally, she was trying to talk and she was like, all right, I hear y'all. She was trying to talk, and then it's okay. And now it's like, listen, shut the hell up. I guess that annoyance came out, and that's what we saw, which was her natural self. And we seen that. Most of the people in my algorithm weren't mad at it. But I do understand, again, I'm standing 10 toes down with them too. Like, I'm like, okay, no, what they're there for a reason. We're still talking about this. We don't want to, if you're going to be leading, what does that look like? This is what you supported. Are you going to support this? Like, this is how they're trying to, that's something that's not uncommon though. So especially for this situation. So I don't know, especially for the case, what they're talking about, the subject of it. We're still going to be talking about this. And you're about to lead, and we have this crunch time. So people are going to be pulling up at more of her, like at more of her where she's campaigning at and doing the same thing. So yeah, I know that she felt free because she had a conversation with a different group, but it don't go like that. These other people had planned this. They knew you were coming. They're going to be in the room. It's happening. And this probably won't be the last time.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, that clip was being shared around, like the part of the clip that was being shared around, a lot of people cut out the beginning where it was she initially like kind of let them talk, as Joe Biden has done as well when she's been protested. He's kind of like let them just kind of protest for a bit, and then they're usually kicked out of the room. That was going on beforehand, and then it was like a minute later, 2 minutes later, when they kept doing it, that's when she had that reaction. But it was still, it's not a good look.
Yeah,
Like
I mean, I
there's
didn't, like I said,
a better way, I think, just to address it in the room as opposed to, saying you want Trump to win. Like that's not I don't think the best.
It got crazy. I feel like it got crazy, but then it was like, she just, I think she was just so annoyed. I'm not making excuses for her. Like, I'm like, girl, really? I had both reactions when I watched it. I was like, oh, that's crazy. And then I was like, girl, she's tired of it. Her natural reaction was like, listen, let me win and let me handle this for you. I promise you. If you want Trump
but she
to
hasn't said that though. That's the thing too.
She also can't really. She's not admitting
that. I got you, Palestinian pro-Palestinian.
Yeah, she didn't say exactly.
She hasn't done that.
I said, it gave. For like I said, the people in my algorithm, that's what they received from it. It gave basically how we interpreted it or how they interpreted it. It's basically like, hush now, let me get here so I can say more and do more. And it wasn't right. Like it didn't have to be that, but it happened.
I also, sorry for interrupting a little bit at the end there, but no, I was gonna say, I mean, even if she did say it out loud, I still think people need to protest the Democrats because they just don't live up to their responsibilities.
That's
I think
true.
that I think people are excited about Kamala, and I think that there's a little bit of aspiration there. There's a little bit of projection, like we saw with Barack Obama, like Hillary Clinton. She's a black woman who might become the first black woman, the first woman to become president in American history, and so people want to feel very good about that. I do sometimes think that liberals, especially the more online ones, shoot themselves in the foot imagining that they don't have a red line, like a moral red line, because it hasn't been crossed yet. You get that feeling of like same people who like are not be crass, but like are like sexually, I have no limits. It's like, no, you're just saying that because they haven't been crossed yet, because your boundaries haven't been violated and you're looking to violate someone else's boundaries. But when your boundaries are violated, you'll be very quick to be vocal about it. You'll be very quick to want something to be done about it. And the Democratic Party, like at best, they're a firewall against what Republicans could do at the highest level. Like if the Congress were to be able to pass a law through Congress that would ban abortion federally, Kamala Harris being the president would likely prevent that from being signed into like law. And that's a real powerful thing to be able to stop. But let's not forget that that was not the goalpost that they were running on even 4 years ago. They were running on like Roe v. Wade being around for a while. The Democratic Party has failed in many of their more explicit goals. They've just failed. Like ultimately, now it's we're going to try to expand the Supreme Court maybe, and they just don't really have a coherent plan for how to get people from like where we are now, which is on the the precipice of a fascist hellscape, to where we need to be, which is at least moving towards, at the very least, social democracy. I think Tim Walz is a good example of a gesture in that right direction. But
yeah,
you just gotta hold Democrats accountable, because like they're the only ones you can kind of hold accountable, because they're the only ones who are slightly movable on this issue. Where like Republicans, they're just like evil. Like they wallow in their own badness. They love to tell you how bad they are. Maybe they'll sometimes like gesture to Jesus Christ, like, oh, but he wants this. He wants you to suffer. But no one believes that really, right? And so Democrats, like they're just the enabling party. They're like the feckless ones. They have to be pushed. I think liberals, I'm not impressed. I'm not impressed when liberals tell you they'll vote for 99% Hitler over 100% Hitler, because they only feel that way right now because they're not encompassed a lot of times in that 99%. And so I say it all the time. I think if too many people feel like they're closer to Kamala Harris than they are to a Palestinian being bombed right now, and if you're just an everyday average American voter, that is not the case. Because they will treat you like a terrorist when people start to become climate refugees in America because of like the rapidly deteriorating conditions of some of our states. When when there are water lines, you're not going to be on the side of the powerful. If you're waiting in line for water, you're going to be on the side of the people who are refugees. And like having established the state that can treat refugees, can treat protesters any way they want, is not going to benefit you. But be fair, we don't hear those stories. We don't hear a lot of stories from people who started off on the vote blue no matter whose side. They're going to protect our rights. They're going to keep us in that, in the good times, when they go from being stable, they go from being like, upper middle class to suddenly falling into poverty. We don't hear those stories a lot because they're hidden from us, because we hear the stories of people who are still making it at that moment. There's a lot of survivor's bias in like who we choose to platform with, and like happy times.
It's a great example of what you're talking about, Brandon, is like, and we don't even got to like imagine some crazy scenario. Those same people who say vote blue no matter who to leftists and who boo the pro-Palestinian protesters, those same people were threatening to not vote blue no matter who.
Remember
when people were saying Biden needs to step down?
That's
they were
right.
Biden was their hard line. Losing
like they were going to write in. They were going to.
I'm sorry, those aren't real people. Those are bots. There's no real person that was like, no, if Biden's up, I'm not voting Democrat. That person.
There's a lot of them. And then you know what's so funny? I love the points that you made, Brandon. But it's like, this is why I keep telling people. Right now, we're focused on getting Kamala seated, but I need people to know that's not where we're holding the line. Once her ass is seated, all the things, the criticisms, all the things that she's saying, we don't. That's the problem, because we seat people and then we don't do none of the work. We don't hold them accountable. We don't do none of it, and we cannot do that this time around. We need to make sure that it's hot in the White House. Not it's hot because she's cooking what somebody said, because she's cooking chicken marsala. Somebody said this, it wasn't me, because she's cooking chicken marsala and jerk chicken. No, because she needs to, all the things that she needs to stand on. I know it's not going to be a lot of what we want, but we cannot have another person just going in there running off all of these things. And I know it's just like we're in crunch time. This is not even normal how the campaign is going, and right into elections with my camera going off, but right into elections. But this is not even normal. But we really, as I fade to black, but as I feel like we got to definitely remember that this is not where it stops just because that's why I say we have to look at it where I see all the beauty. I feel all the Black energy. I love all of the great stuff. I love the momentum that feels like when we voted for Obama. But the reality is that's not it. It's not that for us. And we got to make sure that we just don't go off vibes. This ain't that time. It's action. And especially we got to hold everybody who's claiming to be progressive, Democrat, blue, whatever. We can't function the way that we were before. That was very lazy. And we can't do that this time around. It's just not right. No.
Yeah.
No, I agree. And I know, I think I try to have empathy for all sides. I try to be an empathetic person. And I also, understand where people who are, desperate to vote for Kamala, happy to vote for Kamala are coming from. And it's a lot of the same, I think original feeling that people who are not going to vote for her, who are saying they're not going to vote for her, like the holdouts, in the sense that they're not going to vote for her from like political reasons, as opposed to just like being American and being non-voters. And it's fear. Because I think a lot of people are at that point where they feel and realize, and maybe materially, depending on where they live in this country, that the Democratic Party being in power is not going to impact their lives the same way that people are pretending like it will. Because depending on who you are, since Clinton, you're going into Bush, going into Obama, it's very possible that you've just seen your living conditions deteriorate. You've been making the same amount of money that entire time, maybe like a $1 raise, but things have gone up, not commensurate with that $1 raise. And, you hear about this pivot back and forth, but it just doesn't materially manifest in, your own life. It's just it's just the vibes of other people. And I think there are, people are afraid. People are afraid to understand that could be them one day, that the Democratic Party could leave them behind one day, that they could be in a state that's going purple, and that Kamala could be the kind of leader that Obama was, where like you hear a lot of great stuff that she's doing identity wise and like empowering people and like making people feel that they belong in the system. But Democratic Party's hemorrhaging seats at the state level. They're hemorrhaging seats at the the judiciary. And so like states that were once like bastions of liberalism are now like falling into republicanism. And that means that along with the Supreme Court that's occupied Republicans, that you can get these regressive anti-abortion laws over the line the way you couldn't 4 years ago, because Roe v. Wade is overturned. And so I understand like people are afraid. People are afraid to admit what it would mean that if the Democratic Party are just not doing their best to combat fascism, because that would mean that we're in a really bad place. And we've had the language of mass organization, mass movements ripped from our culture by a lot of different sources. But really, even the way people talk about the civil rights movement seems to imply that it was people asking kindly for people to be given the right to vote, as opposed to demanding it, with the undercurrent of violence throughout our society, giving the implication that if these demands aren't met, then violence will erupt in the streets. And people are afraid of that too. And I just feel like some people just don't understand what it's going to actually take to go from like where we are now, which is like voting every 4 years to not lose our civil rights, to actually being a sustainable pathway to like a more egalitarian society, I guess, like something certainly a society that is actively combating the challenges that we're facing when it comes like the climate, when it comes to just like the inequality that we see in our society.
It's going to take work, but we have to start. I don't want us to try to be like, oh, we'll do it next year. I mean, in the next 4 years, we just want to know. We got to start. We got to do a little something, because we cannot continue to do this every 4 damn years. I don't see it working for us in that way. We have to hold the party accountable. People who associate themselves, our leaders who associate themselves with the party, accountable. But also, Brandon, to your point, people really looking at her as a glimmer of hope, because damn, they done took away all these laws. We thought the Democrats were supposed to save them. And we know if we get Trump into office, especially from that Project 2025 rundown and the things on there that have already happened, we know that they're going to make sure to see to it that the other things definitely come into fruition under a term with Donald Trump. So a lot of people are like, just please, get her in there. Maybe she can bring this back for us. Maybe she can save us for this. Maybe, all of that. So I do get that aspect of it as well, because there's a part of me that sees that too, feels that too. Outside of my political knowledge, I do feel like, dang, I just want something where it could benefit me, because if this was me, what was it? 2015 or whatever, I benefited from Roe versus Wade. Today, if I would have made the same decision, I'm shit out of luck. And I like that I think about often. So, and if it's just coming down to having just some kind of hope here, then I do understand where people are standing on with that. Like, but we got work to do. Okay. And I would love for us to just, like I said, hang on to the vibes and be like, we love her because she AK. We love her because she went to an HBC. We love her because she's Black-ish. We love her. But it's not gonna do anything for us. We really gotta love her and hold her accountable. I think that's all right too.
Yeah,
Well,
and
I do-
remember the. Sorry, go ahead, David.
Well, I was going to make a bit of a left turn here because I do have to say one of the potential issues here that she has is Tim Walz, because even though he seemed like he was fantastic and seems like a great guy, it appears he has offended the Italian community. And since we are one of the utmost authorities as the leftist mafia on the Italian community, this is from Mike Crispy. He's a Trump delegate. He's a Trump delegate.
His name's Mike Crispy.
Yeah, apparently. Tim Walz. Let's just make sure he's a real person. He appears to be. He's on Rumble and he's a board member of this. As we're going to get to what they are, forget what it stands for. We'll see.
Oh, America First Republicans of New Jersey. Oh, that's his group.
Tim Walz is an enemy of the Italian American community. He has a long history of being in favor of erasing our culture. He strongly has supported the removal of Christopher Columbus statues. We will call it for what it is, racism. So this is, what is this stand? This is the Italian American Civil Rights League.
Italian American Civil Rights. Oh, Lord.
It's anti-Italian discrimination. No. Hey.
Well, I was hearing earlier that Tim Walz isn't even like white. He's like, he's
Italian,
German
no?
or something.
Oh, he's German? Okay. No.
Yeah, he's not a true
Rumors.
son of Yakub. He's like he's one of like the barbarian races apparently.
Apparently, and they hate him because Tim Walz did nothing to stop radical vandals from targeting the most prominent symbol of Italian American culture in a flagrant hate crime. He knew they were coming.
Columbus is not
and
the
he
most
did nothing to protect.
prominent
He did nothing to
symbol of
protect the
Italian
statue.
American culture. What the hell?
And Bender, actually, you're part Italian, right? So there we go. So
I'm like half I'm like half Italian. That's what I'm a bunch
so
of things.
So you know what it's like.
But
to
you're
be
half
discriminated against as an
Italian?
Italian.
This is unbelievable. Hey, give me a break now. What the hell is this? I mean, it's not like the Christopher Columbus statue. Give me a break. Give me a break.
Is Christopher Columbus
happened years ago, didn't
Italian? Wait, look, because I don't be knowing. Is Christopher Columbus Italian?
Yeah, but
That's like the
mean,
one
they-
thing
they-
Italians have. Yes.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
It's a thing
ridiculous.
for Italians? I never heard an Italian be like,
listen,
Christopher
Italians-
Columbus is the only Christopher we recognize. I never heard that.
I think I have a sound drop for this.
The only discrimination. Yeah, that's it. That's what I don't get. Like, there's so many things that Italian Americans can hold up proudly with their culture. You could Bruno Sammartino, the longest reigning WWF champion of all time. No one will ever beat that record. There's so much culture. We got pizza. We got bocce ball.
I didn't know
there's
you
so
had
many
Christopher
things
Columbus.
we got.
I didn't even know you had
Mostly
Christopher
food.
Columbus.
Mostly food.
Oh, why do
Somebody
we?
said
Why
that
do we
Christopher
keep-
Columbus was an Italian reject.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah,
he
because
had
he had
to
to sail
sail
under a
for,
Spanish flag.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, he didn't
didn't-
even do anything under the Italian banner. He didn't even do anything in the name of Italy. He should be considered a traitor. He's like the Benedict Arnold for Italians. Why do we hold
He
him up?
also-
Give me a break.
He also didn't even finish his mission. Like, he failed. He was supposed to find a way to India for spices. Like, he didn't.
Right. And he's the
Yep.
and he's like
It's a
is he the
failure.
guy who showed up and been like, "Oh, I'm here in India. These are Indians." And to the day, people still call Native Americans Indians because of this guy.
He's definitely garbage. Like I'd mention this book all the time. The Lies My Teacher Told Me taught me a lot about that book by Zimmerman, not George Zimmerman, but a book called The Lies My Teacher Told Me actually helped me understand, because I'm coming from high school not knowing, I'm learning about Christopher Columbus all from kindergarten up until senior year, but then I went to the number one HBCU in the nation, Florida A&M University. And then when I went there, they forced me to read that book. And in reading that, it talked about how he went to Haiti and a lot of the other areas of the Caribbean and exactly what he did according to the pages of his raggedy ass diary or whatever he, their little excursions and how they would, everything that he said and so all the things that we're reading in our history books about him and how he explored and found places he didn't. And it just breaks that down and about the cruelty that he did to these people, how they killed them, how some people from Haiti at the time, the native people there, and he went there, they were so giving to him. So they were like, you know what? Let's give him some of the best things that we have to offer from, this island country. And they took it. Then the next day they want to do it again. And at that time, that's when him and his folks done killed, put them people in chains and all that on the land. And so he's garbage. So I didn't even know. I'm like, Italians never mention him. You know what I'm saying? Yes, the pizza's great, but and I see why. Like, no, Christopher Columbus is garbage.
Old school Italian Americans, Christopher Columbus Day is like the Italian American parade and stuff like that. Like that's that's their thing. Yeah, like how St. Patrick's Day is for the Irish.
Yeah.
Christopher Columbus Day is for the Italians. It's always bothered me because it doesn't make any sense. I don't claim Christopher Columbus. We should not claim Christopher Columbus. It's so lame. Give Italians their own day. There's got to be an Italian saint we could go with, and like St. Patrick.
Yeah.
We don't need to use Christopher Columbus. Come on.
What about Chef Boyardee? We could meet in the middle there. We could replace all of the statues of Christopher Columbus with Chef. Like,
oh yeah, Mario.
Mario.
Unite the country.
Mario's a Japanese creation of a.
You're saying, and you
Italian.
even say it like the people. It's Mario. Talking about Mario. That is so New York of you. But
Chef Boyardee the real person. So like that shows,
who's a real person? Chef Boyardee's a real person.
Yeah, he's a real person.
I didn't know he was a real person.
Yeah, look.
Hector Boyardee.
Really?
Oh, okay.
Saint Francis of Assisi. Saint Francis of Assisi was Italian. He's great. The saint of the animals. Everyone loves Saint Francis of Assisi. Why isn't he?
When I was Catholic, I picked him for my confirmation.
Yeah, same. My confirmation name is Francis for him too.
Oh,
why
there you
the
go.
hell? Let's get rid of Christopher Columbus Day, give it to the indigenous people, and we should create a new St. Francis of Assisi Day. I'm sure it already is a day for St. Francis of Assisi.
Put that in the Facebook chat put that in the Facebook chat for the group, the IRC, whatever they're called. Put that go and infiltrate the Facebook chat. I know they got a page on Facebook.
Oh, it's definitely
this particular
Facebook.
Group.
What's the we were talking about how before like Latinos and people, Caribbean people, they use WhatsApp. There's got whatever the Italian version of WhatsApp is. I'm gonna assume
wherever that is. Where is it? They probably use WhatsApp too.
People accusing me of anti-Italian racism in the chat because I recommended Mario Day. Listen, I have a pass. I married an Italian, and his Nona loves me, so fuck off. Okay.
How about Giada De Laurentiis? She's good. People love her. People love her cooking shows.
All right.
There's a lot of them.
Yeah.
Plenty of options.
Yeah, plenty of options. Yeah.
All right, we can turn in, or at least turn into super chats.
Super chat time.
Whoever wants to stay for super chats, you can stay, Brandon, if you want. I know it's late there. You don't feel like you have to stay.
I don't have any super chats. Well, Brandon, look, I don't want to skip out on you if you're going to stay for super chats. It's great to meet you. I really like you. I like your takes. I like your accent the most.
Thank you. I'm from Brooklyn.
Yeah, I know. I hear it. I used to live in Brooklyn, but I'm out of here, guys. Loved it. Missed you guys last week for where I did. I had my nephew.
We missed you.
I had the babies, so it was good, auntie, and having some family around. So that was good energy, and they love me because I'm the fine auntie. I'm the best auntie. But yeah, I'm out. But I did get 2 Cash Apps, so I'll shout them out. It's somebody's birthday, and I don't want to say their government because I have a problem with doing that. I'm like, dang, what if they want their government out? So Waiting to Fade. Thank you for your Cash App and happy birthday. And thank you, Carly Smith, who said, I always brighten their day, and I'm glad, girl, because I rolled in here. Okay, you glad? Y'all got some hair done because I was about to come in here looking crazy, but I was like, let me go ahead.
You always look so amazing. What are you talking about?
Thank you. Sometimes I know I roll in looking like I just rolled out of bed, and it'd be true. But I love you guys
No
so much.
way.
And Matt, I see your haircut. I do. I like it.
Thank you. I appreciate
Yeah,
it.
it looks great, Matt.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah.
All right, guys. You guys have a good night. I'll see you guys next Thursday. Love you.
Take care,
Nice
Rebecca.
meeting you.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Oh,
Well, I guess
actually, you won't be seeing me next Thursday. I'm out next Thursday. I'm officially
Right, we're kicking
on
him out, by the
vacation
way.
next Thursday. Yeah.
Oh, on a real vacation. How about that?
Crazy.
Yeah.
Where
Good for
going?
you.
Going
Any one of those.
to Florida. Going to spend a few days
Oh.
in Disney with the kids.
Ooh.
Hell
Ooh,
yeah.
Disney World.
That'll be fun.
I was thinking
Yeah.
of going there too at the end of August. Crazy.
It's the best time to go because it's the cheapest time because it's
hot.
as humid as can be. Yep.
Mm.
And also apparently because of that, everything is super cheap. The flights were cheap. The and it's apparently empty this year too because no one's going.
Really?
Because that's not the popular time to go in August. People go during like the big seasonal celebrations, like for like Halloween and Christmas and spring break or whatever.
I watch a lot of Disney YouTube, so I know that Halloween time at Disney has already started. It starts really early.
Right.
At Disney.
They do a Halloween
Whoa.
party. They start
No
their Halloween
kidding.
parties.
They start like in
August, yeah.
July.
What?
Damn.
It's because like after it's like the holiday schedule they have there and like the festivals, like after July 4th, which they have stuff for, there are no real holidays that Disney World can celebrate, like Labor Day or like nothing or like Memorial Day or whatever. I don't remember the American holidays. But like and so like they just start doing Halloween super early and then they just pivot into Christmas. And then like after Christmas, they have like a bunch of festivals.
Right.
Oh,
Right. Yeah. So
okay.
this is like the dead time for Disney. Interestingly enough.
That
Yeah.
is
Keep that in mind for when I go.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I will let you guys go, or I guess I'll go because I'm gonna be the one hanging up. But a lot of fun.
Actually,
Thank
we
you for
should
having.
we should all
It
leave.
was great
and
having
should
you
read all
on.
the super chats. That'd be pretty funny.
I don't have access to them, so I would just make things up. I would just be like, but yeah, no, very fun. Loved watching Trump's press conference. This is the way to watch it, folks. You got to watch it.
Yes,
like,
with other people. You
commentary.
can't watch it by yourself.
If you just hear him
Listen.
talk like for too long, uninterrupted, it has like that kind of like mind-numbing effect. You start to understand what he's saying. You're like, oh no. Like, I get it. They like rewrite your brain.
Yep. You start seeing the world in sepia tone.
Absolutely. Well, I'm gonna head out. Thank you. I'm gonna give you like all salute.
All right, Brandon. People are already requesting
see
you to
ya.
come back, Brandon. So you got
I'll
to
come
come back.
back.
You're
and
ahead.
adventure. Yep.
That's so flattering. That's better than super chats. Being told that people like me. I got like a big head. I'm so egotistical. Maybe I'll run for president. Who knows? Maybe I'll primary Kamala and get all the delegates. And then
Hey, you've got my vote.
I'll pick Bernie as
Hell
my
yeah.
VP. I'm
There's
not
still
old enough to
time.
be president.
All right, man. Have a great
All right.
night.
Take care,
great
Brandon.
morning
Have
for
a
you,
good evening,
actually,
everyone.
where you are. Take
Oh
care.
yeah, but the sun will come up for a while, so I'll be fine. Good night, everybody.
All right.
Thank you.
Night.
Bye.
Tyler, thank
All right.
you. Bay photo with $9.99. Thank you so much. JD Vance was living in San Francisco at the time Kamala was running for Senate. What are the chances a former never Trumper just might have voted for a certain Democratic senator? Just saying, oh, I've never thought of that. That's a really interesting thought, Bay photo. That's a really interesting thought. Somebody should ask him that.
Oh, is this I gotta pay attention to what's for me. Hold on, let me pull up my
It's got to be you. It's not me.
all right, so I will read it. The synopsis. Keep up the great work, all. Why have I been giving Matt? Oh, it's obviously for me. Why have I been giving Matt money for 13 months? Oh, member for 13 months on YouTube. Thanks so much, the synopsis. Wow, over a year. Damn.
That's crazy. Shademus with $2. Hope I said that right. Thank you. I'm not gay, but I think muscular Speedo men are hot. It's a little bit sus to say that, but hey, more power to you. If you're comfortable with your sexuality, you're comfortable. So good on you, man.
Justin, thank you for your super chat. Says, sadly, there's a few progressive channels and followers. Colin, David, and others sell out and faux progressives, all because of opinions on walls. It's frustrating.
How dare they? How dare they?
Sorry. Walls is
We
too
don't-
good.
Yeah, we don't know. We don't care. We're standing walls.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, same. I don't pay attention to it. Bayphoto $4.99. Thank you, Bayphoto, again. Also, Vance was a VC during peak tech gentrification in San Francisco, an issue that contributed significantly to rising housing costs and homelessness. Thanks, JD. Wow, there's a lot of Oppo research there that they can use, and I think that they will.
Wanda, member for 13 months as well. Wow, everyone's it must be the official year anniversary when I turned the memberships on. That's why so many people are 13 months members.
Right.
Wow. Time flies.
That's impressive.
Damn. Wanda says the Apple Store in Towson, Maryland has become the first store in the nation to organize a labor union to get better pay and benefits for its workers. Right, I saw that. That's crazy that an Apple Store unionized. That's awesome. We need to get this going across the country.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Law Gnomes, thank you for your super chat. Says, how long until someone asks Trump directly if he knows what the difference between asylum seekers and people who are from an insane asylum is? That's him always bringing up Hannibal Lecter. Real person,
The
folks.
late great
These are real
Hannibal
stories.
Lecter, folks.
We'd like to have you for dinner. Like, all right, buddy. Jeremy, thank you for your super chat. Canadian $10 super chat. There have been a lot of wholesome videos about Walz going around recently, but this one hasn't been getting the recognition it deserves. Quote, hands-free driving with Governor Walz and his daughter Hope. I've seen that one go around. I actually haven't watched it, but I've seen the screenshot. But I do hear it's wholesome.
The more I hear, the more I like the guy.
Yeah. Also me.
It's not for me.
David McClelland. Thank you for your super chat. Says, not hard for Elon to full throat endorse that stumpy little thing. Oh God. Much love, y'all. Alec Brady, thank you for your super chat from the UK. Are you going to cover the anti-far right demonstrations in the UK? I saw a bit of it. I just have not followed it closely to talk with any kind of authority on it.
Yeah. David can't go to those because he was a demonstrator in the far right demonstrations in the UK.
Yeah, that's right. I'm currently in prison. Did they imprison those people? I don't even know.
According to that Elon Musk tweet that he posted when he fell for fake news, they're currently building a camp on the Falkland Islands to send them to.
So stupid. Wow, he's the dumbest person on earth. I swear to God.
Oh my God.
You saw this, right? He shared.
I didn't see that.
Okay, so there's a far right Twitter user, literally one of the co-leaders of the Britain First far right party in the UK, tweeted a fake headline about how Keir Starmer of the Prime Minister, the head of the Labour Party, was building detainment camps in the Falkland Islands to send the far right protesters to after they were arrested. And Elon Musk shared it and he went like, detainment camps? Oh. And then it was up for like 30 minutes. And I guess, this happened when we were early in the morning. I didn't see it myself. I saw the screenshots. It was up for 30 minutes before I guess all the people were telling him that it was fake. It was a fake headline. It did not exist because it's not a real thing. And he quietly deleted it without saying a word.
There should be I hope someone has kept track of all the fucking bullshit he has fallen for, or just all the crap he has tweeted that's so stupid. He is such a fucking moron. It's unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
I think Elon should get on his private jet. He should fly to the Falkland Islands and free all the political prisoners.
Bitey face.
All he does is
guy.
tweet. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, he needs to log off the fucking internet. I mean, he's on Twitter all day. That was the problem in the first place with him. Bitey face puppy guy, $5. Thank you so much. And now for a foreign affairs interlude. From the River Street culvert to the sea marshes, Palestine Creek will be blue algae and carp free. I don't know what to make of that, but thank you for the super chat.
TKing with a super chat. Imagine Walz the dad wrestling personality. I mentioned before, Jesse the Body Ventura endorsed him. I mean, you got Jesse the Body.
That'd be a great DNC speech. That'd be a great speech. He's a great speaker.
They need to get him. Yeah.
Oh, I'm looking forward to it.
Yep.
Alexander L, thank you for your very generous $19.99. Why not the last cent? What's wrong with that? Just 20. But thank you, Alexander. A few weeks ago, I was panicking and saying Kamala can't win, and I sent super chats, and you guys put me in my place. But the moment Kamala was announced as the nominee, a weight lifted off my shoulders. See, and look at all the goddamn fundraising she's done. Like, clearly, she's doing great. And
thank you for giving us our flowers.
I'm actually I've been impressed by how well she's campaigned, because she was not this kind of person in 2020. She was not a good campaigner. She had like one good debate, but that was it.
And she's having a lot of fun with it. Her team seems to know what they're doing compared to Biden's team. I'm sure there's some overlap, but I think that she has better political instincts than Joe Biden for sure.
Oh yeah,
for sure. And she has energy. Like, that makes a whole hell of a difference. Just being alive.
Yeah, that's part
wonders.
of it as well. Is just people were used to Biden, so seeing Kamala is just like a shot in the arm. It's like it does,
right?
It almost doesn't matter. It's just the fact that it's somebody who's younger and can speak.
Exactly.
It is sort of funny to me though that her campaign headquarters is stuck in Delaware because they don't have time to move the Biden operation. Like, she has no ties to Delaware. Why is Kamala Harris's headquarters in Delaware? But yeah, other than that, yeah, good. She's been doing good.
Chris Corkerman, $5. Thank you so much. Walls said for Vance to get off the couch and show up, but he should have said get off the couch and come. Oh, that would have been so much better.
That's too much. That'd be a step too far. I think that joke was perfect, because if you don't get the couch meme, you don't know what it is, that it still works. It's just, he's just lazy. But if you get the couch thing, then you get it. Like, it was a perfect line.
Mike just wants him to be like, Mike wants Tim Walz up there being like, hey, did y'all see JD Vance ejaculate all over the couch?
Yeah. Mike wants like the literal translation of what is happening.
See, I need him to say come so that way I can add him to the compilation that I have. If you've heard my outro, I have a compilation of Kamala Harris saying do not come and Trump saying I'm going to come, and then I blend it together. It's a beautiful melody. I would like to expand that to Vance and Walz. So
that video is really great of Kamala saying, do not come. And then it cuts to Trump going, I'm going to come.
Yeah.
Camlin, $5 super chat. Thank you. Says it's fishy as F, which is to say average as U.S. assassination attempts go. What do you think this was referring to? It's fishy as F from 9 o'clock.
The Trump assassination?
Oh, I guess you're talking about the assassination. I guess that makes sense.
I will say that my mom said the same thing that Brandon's mom said. Like, when I talked to her, she's like, do you think that was real? I'm like, yeah, it was real, Mom. Like, why do so many people think that it was? I don't understand.
Yeah. I think we're in this mode now where Facebook has really fucked a lot of people up.
Mm-hmm.
So there are just so many things that are obviously real, but now people don't know what to trust anymore because they've seen so many fake things on Facebook. They're just, yeah.
Yeah, I'm worried that maybe one of her friends shared something that she saw on Facebook. So, it's it's an issue.
Is this me or someone else?
I think this is not me. It's definitely
what was that?
Bender.
Oh, this is for me. Whoops, my bad. Ali Reza Murga Hassemi. Hey guys, do you think JD will have the same fate as Pence? An inevitable fallout with Trump when Trump sees JD as partially a drag rather than a boost. But here's the thing. Pence actually was a boost for Trump. He helped shore up Trump with the evangelicals. Pence had a falling out after they succeeded in getting elected because he wouldn't overturn the election for Trump. Vance is not, I don't think Vance is going to get that far. I really, barring and of course it could happen because this election season has been crazy already. Barring some real crazy story or crazy happening, something that'll change the course of the race once again. What we're looking at is Trump's going to throw Vance under the bus when they eventually lose.
Yeah,
because he's already already looks like he's setting that up. It already looks like he's planning to do that.
It's going to get ugly if they don't win. Right. JD Vance is going to get clapped by Trump.
I think Harris and Walz, again, assuming as Bender said, everything keeps going the way a normal campaign goes. I think they're going to fucking destroy. Like, I think they're going to flip certain states people aren't even like considering right now. Like, I think it's going to be a big win.
Alabama's turning blue this year, folks. Alabama's turning blue.
But people are like the combination of people being tired with Trump and then Harrison Walls just being a really good team on that ticket.
Yeah. Yeah.
Andrew S., member for 13 months. A quick mold fact: if you see mold, throw out the food. Don't pick around because the spores already spread on the food. Yummy. Thank you, Andrew.
Yeah,
I'll
see?
keep that in mind.
Yeah, I will never. Do not. Oh, I can't even think about moldy bread. I get shivers. I hate it. It must have. I don't know, I must have had like a. I must have like a repressed memory of like eating moldy bread or something that I just don't remember.
Daniel R199. Candace Owens voice. Where my stable lefties at? We need that soundbite.
Yes. Texas hostage send help. I got some super chats from this account before. It makes me laugh, this account name. Gen Xers got hate from boomers too. Wait, Gen Xers got hate from boomers too. Love you, millennials.
All right, I just gotta point this out. Because I want people to understand. The Gen X, my feelings on Gen X is new. Because Gen X changed. I don't think any generation was more affected by the changes in our lives due to COVID during the heights of the pandemic than Gen X. A large contingent of Gen X lost their minds. They were the ones who had the kids in school, who were home, and they were pissed that the kids were home, and they went crazy. They were the ones protesting outside to open the schools, and they wanted to get their haircuts. They weren't the only ones. There surely were millennials and boomers and even older people than boomers, the silent generation, or how many of them are left. They were doing it too, but Gen X has been the ones most affected by it, to the point where if you look at breakdowns, like exit polls now for the past couple of years, year after year, election after election, it is the Gen Xer generation, the Gen X demographic, who are voting more right-wing than even the boomers now.
More Gen X talk. Nikki O'Brien, thank you for your chat. I'm early Gen X, overlap with the children are to be seen and not heard era. The original latchkey kids. We know how to fix stuff.
You got to fix some of your fellow Gen Xers' brains that were broken during COVID. I mean,
Alexander L, thank you for your super chat. Jumped on AOL in the 11th grade, 47 now. Became a software engineer.
Very cool. Shadow, $5. It's my birthday today. Oh, you got it too?
All right, ready? Let's all read it together same time. Ready? 1, 2, 3. It's my birthday today.
Here's a birthday gift from
me.
Well, happy birthday.
There you go. Happy birthday.
Hope you have a wonderful birthday.
August birthdays are awesome. They're the best. Everyone who's born in August is automatically fantastic.
Oh, yeah, we got 3 in a row.
My birthday's in, what is it now? August 20. My birthday's August 23rd. Was that 2 weeks away? Yeah.
Oh, happy early birthday.
Thank you. I'm probably going to miss you guys 2 weeks in a row, actually. I'm definitely out next Thursday. I am gonna try to jump on in time for the super chats on the following Thursday, the 22nd, so I could spend a little time while I'm out with my family. But I'm gonna spend a little time with you guys for my birthdays. By the time it'll be just an hour before my birthday. So I'm aiming for it.
Okay. Nice. I'll be out probably the first or second week of September. I always take the week off for our anniversary. So we'll be having some absences in the coming weeks, but it's cool.
I'm sure I'll be sick again in the next 2 months, so I'll be gone now.
David's scheduled sickness, quarterly sickness.
Exactly.
If not bi-monthly.
It usually lines up perfectly with the NHL season, so look up whenever that starts.
No, that's the playoffs. I'll just say I'm gone for the playoffs. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. Look, some things are more important than podcasting. Happiness. Mighty Face Puppy Guy with $5. We need a Kamala Walls miracle in Canada to put a damper on Pierre Poilievre's momentum. That would be great. That'd be great, because I don't like what I'm seeing. Because Canada is always like, that's the plan B for a lot of us Americans. If Trump wins or shit goes south, we're going north. So
now it's reverse. Now it's reversing. Now America's my plan B.
Yeah. Well, hey,
Getting
listen.
out of here.
Listen, you all can come crash on the couch. You know, we've got you.
I will say, since Walls popularized the weird thing, the Canadian Liberal Party is now trying to do that to Pierre Poilievre, and it's actually kind of working because he is fucking
Oh,
weird.
shit.
They are weird. So
That's funny.
I'm not sure if it's going to prevent a conservative government, but it may prevent a majority if they continue on this path and keep
That'd be
What are
great.
they
discussing
going?
how
What are they
weird he
going
is.
with? Are they going with? These guys are weird, eh?
No, so one of the first things I saw was okay, that's a joke that works literally for just like Americans. Okay, all right. I didn't even know you're really telling a joke. I'm just like,
cry
it's like
laughing
background
right
noise.
now. That's amazing.
Bender's killing himself. with
Because
this.
it just occurred to me that the guy who started it here is Minnesotan, so actually he probably says the same thing. These guys are weird, eh?
That's probably why, partly why it works. It's just like Walls is basically already Canadian. Actually, he's from Nebraska, so not quite. But I'm trying to see if I could find the tweet because the first they aren't using weird list, not that I've seen yet, but they're kind of making him seem that way. It's too far back. But it was Pierre Poilievre tweeted something about, I don't know, like basically trying to compare Trudeau to Marx. It was really stupid, like some stupid graphic. And then Trudeau quote tweeted it saying, "You need to touch some grass." And it was actually
That's a good
good.
line.
I very rarely see Trudeau, land something in a political way, and it was actually pretty good. Oh my God, I've tweeted way more than I thought I did. I was trying
I've been
to find
tweeting a lot lately, and I need to stop.
Yo, same.
If they
I
keep
went
doing
from
it, it may work.
like in all like May and June, was barely on there, and then Biden dropped out, and I got like reinvigorated. Like it
Same.
felt, yeah.
There it is.
This
It
is
was
a great response.
How did this? Look at this stupid ass tweet. How to do communism? Like it's just so fucking stupid. It's just stupid right wing shit.
It doesn't even
Way
make
too
sense
many
'cause
steps for a meme. Way too many.
Trudeau's
steps
been
for a meme.
prime minister
The
for how
idea that
long?
Trudeau is anywhere near a communist is so fucking stupid. Anyways, but
Yeah.
I think this
Why
guy
hasn't he done
that's
communism
a
yet then?
Great line. Yeah, exactly. Like, why am I able to vote? Like, trying to make this seem like some kind of dictatorship, like communist dictatorships. Like, get the fuck out of here.
So idiotic.
Ah.
God. Canada, don't vote for
anyways,
him,
moving
please.
on.
I get you hate Trudeau. I hate him too, but Jesus Christ, just
I
don't.
don't think my viewers better not be, but
Yeah.
unfortunately, the rest of Canada, I don't know. For me, Celeste, good to see you, Celeste. Celeste always trolls me, which is, I don't know, I find funny. But is this a troll? Let's see. Please tell Alay to unblock me from Twitter, guys. You're probably trolling her too. All I asked her was why Lizzo art was still up on her wall because I thought she was canceled. You got to stop trolling people. People are taking you seriously.
Yeah, some people don't take trolling as well.
No.
Tumbosin with a super chat. I am not black. I am OJ. Okay. I have no idea, Tumbosin.
K-Blaze, thank you for your super chat. Hey, Leftist Mafia. Keith Hunsinger for Wall Township Committee 2024. Check me out on Facebook, a young lefty in a very red New Jersey town running independent. All right. If you are there, check out K-Blaze.
Very cool.
Seth Wade, thank you for your super chat. Seth here from rural Red, Missouri. Walls is a game changer. You all and Kyle are a major part of what put his name in the political zeitgeist. Thank you. It's all me. Thank you. I will take credit.
We got Biden
bless
to
you.
drop out,
thank you, Seth.
and we got Walls.
What can we do
Crushing
next?
it. Next, it's full-blown communism, baby.
We're just waiting in the wings for that one. We were able to make all those other things happen,
this
but
for me
we're we're sitting back and waiting on the stuff
Well,
we
it's
really
it's a
want.
step ladder.
coming.
You got to make your way there. It can't just
Yeah.
be immediate.
Yep.
Cosmere Dragon, thank you for the balls to the walls super chat. I agree, balls to the walls. Ooh, what am I doing?
Thank you, Fighting Gale. Appreciate you.
I got a lot of super chats today. Holy shit.
Mm-hmm.
Tumbosin with another super chat. Turn off the lukewarm struggle bars, please. Lupe Goat. Oh, that was referring to the rapping Republican insane person, Valentina Gomez, right? Yeah, that's her name. 6th place. Even 6th place. Ooh.
Came close.
I think
for
this
you?
is also for me. Yep. Foresto with a super chat. Pelosi finally dug that flag put of her basement. Wait, flag out of her basement? What? Huh? I'm confused.
Finally
What?
dug that flag out of her basement.
It's
What?
a reference to an
trying to
article
think which
about
flag.
how AOC and her were beefing, and she had like protesting signs in her basement. But
Oh my
AOC
God.
said they were
Yeah, that's
collecting dust.
That's a deep cut.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. That
Thank
is.
you,
That's a pretty
Andrew.
good reference.
Yes, thank you as well, Andrew.
500 internal with a super chat. When it comes to bread, Binder's a crust punk. That's pretty funny. But also, I want to point out, I saw that super chat come in, and while it's very funny, this super chat came in about an hour after the bread talk, which means you were really taking a while to come up with that one.
Some people just come in late and they'll watch from the beginning.
That's true too. Right. So maybe they come up with it fast. Who knows?
Parker, thank you for the $5. Shout out to Cori Bush for being one of the best members of Congress these past 3.5 years. Unfortunately, she came up short in the primary on Tuesday. Yeah, absolutely. Shout out to her. I think that she's going to stick around. Maybe she'll run for Congress again. Either way, she's going to organize. Like, if you listen to her speech, she was fired up, and she's like, AIPAC, I'm coming to tear down your kingdom. Expect big things from her, because before she was a member of Congress, she was a Black Lives Matter organizer in Ferguson.
Right.
So she is going to stick around. That I am sure of.
Here's the thing. Like, I think, Cori Bush and Jamal Bowman are great. But I do think out of all the squad members, they were the two who struggled the most in that transition from activist to politician. Like, you see AOC and you see even Ilhan Omar, you see Presley.
She did
up
sleep,
in,
just like her like
well,
her district just
she's in a
loves her,
perfect
like-
district for her.
Yeah.
They are, they're also, while maintaining their ideals and ideology, they're also playing the necessary game of politics that comes about when you're a congressperson. I feel like, from what I've heard, Cori Bush and Jamal Bowman weren't so great at that part of it. That doesn't mean they weren't great votes and have great ideas. They just, some people are better at being activists. Being a politician's a job. Some people aren't as, well, I do think Bowman has a shot at there's a district there for him. I'm not that familiar with St. Louis with Cori Bush. I don't know if there's a avenue for her to come back in, but I do think she should continue with the work that she's best at, at the very least. And I see people are disagreeing with me in the chat, but I'll just say
this might be
from what I understand, they didn't have the constituency services that the others have, which is why they weren't as safe. There were people in the district for both of those people who were not anti them, who reported that their constituency services just weren't at the same level as the others. There were issues where they weren't being as responsive to, calls and stuff like that. I'm not knocking them. I'm just explaining why they were vulnerable.
There's a reason why AIPAC specifically chose those races. Like, they felt like they were winnable if they spent enough money, and they were right, clearly.
There's a reason they went after those two and not the others. Wasn't that AIPAC's unstoppable? Is that AIPAC strategized and saw who was weak and took advantage of it and made sure they lost with all their money. Like they could have poured those same millions and millions of dollars into AOC's district and they would have lost.
Yeah, this is for you, Bender.
Oh, Ryan Lennon fan. Member for 13 months. Why do people think Kamala might improve on Palestine when she hasn't said or done anything other than say, I hear you, but support the same stuff as Biden? I mean, Biden wasn't even saying, I hear you.
Yeah.
But also
He was saying fuck you, basically.
Right. But also though, the one or two of the people from the Biden administration who resigned from the administration over
That's right.
the Gaza policy. I forget if it was one of them or even two of them, but one of them definitely came out and said that they, from their experience working in the administration, have hope about Gaza now that Kamala is the one running. Because from their understanding, in the administration, Kamala was not 100% on board with the administration's policy on Gaza. Now, that doesn't mean I'm expecting you should not 100% not expect Kamala to be like, no more support for Israel whatsoever. But we just need someone to firmly support a ceasefire and to say that what's happening in Gaza needs to stop immediately and provide action that forces Israel to stop. And from people who have a better understanding of this than any of us can have, they're saying that Kamala is more likely to be that person than we had any chance of someone currently being that person.
We just need a leak from the administration. Like, they've got to plant this story, Kamala's people, that Kamala is reportedly growing frustrated with the Biden's weakness on this issue.
I think
like that.
I think there was a story about that. Like, this is like months ago before.
Oh, you're right,
idea
huh?
of her. Yeah, that was also part of the reason why people think that she's better. Is that she just is hamstrung by the fact that she's not the president.
She's trying to give us some crumbs, and that might be copium. But honestly, you can't get much worse than Biden. That's
You also can't get much worse. That's
Democrat.
exactly. You really can't.
Zia Spots, wow, thank you for the $20. Really appreciate that. Tired of gatekeeping by other pro-Palestine people about choice to vote for Harris Walls. Apparently, I'm showing cognitive dissonance for voting for the only viable candidates who don't want Palestine wiped off the map. Thoughts? Listen, I think that this whole conversation about voting third party, strategic voting, tune it out. People are going to vote third party if they want to. People are going to strategic vote if they want to. You should not feel bad or vote ashamed because of your choice. I think that this conversation is useless, and we have it every 4 years. But it doesn't change anyone's mind. It just divides people. So if you're going to vote for them, don't feel bad about it. I'm planning on voting for them. I live in a blue state. I don't have to vote strategically, but I'm choosing to vote specifically because I think that Tim Walz is a good indication of where the party's heading, and I want them to know that I want to reward a progressive direction. Maybe that's copium too, but at the end of the day, we live in a very fucked up system, and we make the best with what we've got. There's two viable options. It'll be Kamala or Trump. And so I don't think that you should let anyone shame you. Having said that, though, don't vote or shame people who vote third party as well. I think that as leftists, we need to give each other more grace and stop having the same insufferable conversation every 4 years, because nobody's going to be convinced. We have our positions dug in here, and we've just got to get off each other's backs, honestly.
And keep in mind, a lot of people are having this conversation for clicks. Like, they're doing
it.
It's for attention and for ad revenue, as opposed
it's
to
also performative to an extent, where it's like, I'm the most pure lefty.
It's so childish. Like,
nobody's
it's
perfect.
exhausting.
Nobody's pure. Yeah, I'm so sick of it. I'm choosing to not even engage with it because it's just it's not a productive conversation to have. Normal people aren't thinking about this. Like, normal people are considering, do I even get off my ass to vote? Period. Like, this is not a calculation that they're making.
Yeah.
So it's a similar.
Yeah, sorry.
No, go ahead, Mike. I didn't mean to shut
No,
you.
no, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say we had a similar conversation on the Majority Report earlier, and I pointed out how you undoubtedly 100% have more people in your life who are planning, who don't even have plans for election day. You're just not going to vote just because they don't. They're just not politically engaged. That you can make more inroads with and convince them to go out and vote that you could be spending your time on than whatever lefty you have in your life who's decided they can't vote for a Democrat because of whatever reason. It's like you have to understand where they're coming from and just move on and do the work where it'll actually make a difference if that's important to you. Just there's someone in your life who's currently saying, yeah, I'm just not going to vote, that you could talk to and you could be and you could explain, and they'll be like, but I haven't really been paying attention, and then you tell them a few things and you know what, maybe I will vote. that 100% more proactive than getting into an argument with like some lefty online.
Yeah. And listen, like there's always going to be third party voters every single election. And you're not going to change their minds. The good thing is that they're voting, and oftentimes they vote down ticket Democrats, which is a benefit of the Democratic Party, just collectively speaking. Just don't waste your breath arguing. Again, it's a dead end conversation. Don't voter shame, and don't let people voter shame you. It doesn't matter. You're not a sellout shit lib if you strategically vote because you live in Pennsylvania. That makes you somebody who just wants to make sure Trump doesn't get back in the White House. That's reasonable, right? It's not like no election comes down to one issue. There's a lot of issues at stake. There's trans rights is at stake. If you have a trans family member, you shouldn't say, how dare you vote for, Kamala Harris when they have a trans family member that their life could be fucked up if Trump gets in. So, I mean, you have to give people grace. So that's just what I ask. Like, be nice to each other if you're lefties. Stop, trying to virtue signal and have a pissing contest. Let's all shut the fuck up and just, like, do what we're going to do because we're going to do it anyway, right?
Yeah.
I will say, though, speaking of Pennsylvania elections, that I will voter shame you and call you a shit lib if in a couple of years you're going out there to get out the vote for John Fetterman. So it depends. Depends what the election is. Yes,
that's fair. I think that's fair.
Who's this for?
From me. Oh yeah, it is. Funky Fresh with a $10 super chat. Thank you so much. Everyone donate to and volunteer for Ilhan Omar's campaign and vote for Ilhan Omar on Tuesday, August 13th. If you live in her district. Oh, she has her. Oh, interesting. I didn't realize it was next week. Is she in danger? I don't think she's in danger, right? No.
I don't think so.
Not as bad. It's going to be close. She was very close last time with her same opponent, Don Samuels, but there's not as much money, to my understanding, being poured in the race, so it's going to be close. Still support her if you can.
If we lost Ilhan Omar, that one would hurt.
That one would be devastating.
That would be devastating, yes.
We're keeping Rashida. She won her primary, so that's good. Didn't expect her to lose, but
same
it's
with
nice
AOC.
to have Rashida. Yeah, same with AOC.
Yeah. Summer Lee as well, and Summer Lee faced the APAC.
Yeah, she faced a
right.
Yeah.
Yep.
See, that's what I mean. Summer Lee did the work, played the game. I'm not saying the others didn't, but she's a better politician, honestly.
I think this can be for Matt.
Narrator with a $10 super chat. When libs wish cast Harris's position on Palestine, they are tempering dissent in support of Palestine in a cynical ploy to drum up enthusiasm for imperialists. It is damaging to the Palestinian cause. Right, because when they did that, there was zero protesting when Kamala Harris was in Michigan yesterday. I disagree with you, narrator. I'm sorry. I don't think there's any. I think people who are going to protest her are going to protest her, and these are completely different contingents. I agree with those protesters. I agree with them. Kamala Harris is not off the hook. I just feel hopeful that someone in a position of power will do something better. That doesn't mean I'm letting her off the hook.
Also, the actual leaders of the uncommitted movement. I shared this in my video on this today. The ones that met with her briefly in that line said that they felt like she was genuine, that she actually cared, and that they're hoping
both
to meet
of
with her.
them.
Yeah, and they're
both
very complimentary of Kamala Harris and critical of Trump as well, and discussing how much worse he would be. So this is not the actual your tweet makes, or your super chat makes no sense, because the people that are actually doing this stuff are the ones that have a little more hope for Kamala Harris.
Yeah, and it's not cynical. People are hopeful about Kamala Harris because we were staring down the barrel of a gun like a month ago. It looked like Trump was an inevitability.
Yeah.
Understand that people are excited that now things might not get as bad as they looked, right? So I don't think anybody is being cynical by wish casting. I think you're the one who's being too cynical And I
Some
don't
people
agree
just want
that
to
it's-
live in like sorrow and misery all the fucking
Yeah,
time.
I
If
mean,
that's what you want to do,
fuck.
cool. But the rest of us don't want to fucking live there, and we want to acknowledge that good things can happen. It doesn't mean they're going to. It doesn't mean quit. Like some people are like narrator clearly feels maybe fired up when he feels negative. I don't get that way. I feel
No.
fired up, and I want to do more when I feel hopeful. So like
Exactly.
all of us are triggered in different ways. If that's what if negativity triggers you that and works for you, that's good. That works for you. It doesn't work for me. It doesn't work for a lot of people.
Yeah, I like if I get depressed and disillusioned, I'm the same as David, where I want to retreat, I want to crawl into a hole.
Yeah.
So you have to understand that, like, look, our system is fucked up. And we're all lefties, socialists. We're not going to get the change we want by voting just individually. It's not a panacea, but we're making the best with the tools that we have at our disposal. So I think that you have to be, or try to be, less cynical and understand that, like, voting is just one of many things you do as a political person. Voting is just, you vote, and then the real work begins after that. The organizing, the protesting, trying to hold them accountable. There's a great thread I'd recommend everybody read by Climate Defiance on Twitter, where they talk about how when Tim Walz was elected governor, he was putting in Line 3, which would have emitted like 50 coal plants worth of CO2. He got protested, disrupted. They got him to run out of his own fundraising event. He was humiliated, but then guess what happened? He changed his mind. The protests got through to him, and then he became known as like one of the best governors in the country for climate change. So the work starts after you get them elected. I think you should extract concessions beforehand. Of course, do what you can, but I mean, don't shit on people who are just trying to make the world a slightly better place. A slightly better place.
Bender?
That's probably from me, right? Tunbosin with a $10 super chat. Viewers are discussing potential negative outcomes for J.D. Vance's political career, including Trump replacing him as VP nominee. Continued. Go to the next one.
I don't see the next.
I see it on my end.
It's a few down. This one?
Yep. Tunbosin continues with a $5 super chat. Vance being a shillbilly and creep, and Vance's unsuccessful attempts at debate with Kamala Harris and other candidates. I don't think. Well, I don't think. Has he? They haven't had any debates like face to face or interactions like that. But I don't think. Again, stranger things have happened, but I don't think Trump is going to replace J.D. Vance at this point. I feel like it would show the sign that he messed up to begin with.
It'd be
Trump
even
would never
worse for
admit
him.
to that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Vance is bad, but a VP isn't going to help him. Like replacing Vance isn't going to help him more than hurt him, I think.
If anything, in Trump's mind, Vance will give him an out if he loses. He'll just blame Vance and he'll feel good about it. Like Trump thinks that way. Like to him, the worst thing isn't him not becoming president again. The worst thing to him is him not becoming president again and him taking the blame for that failure. He's fine with losing and blaming someone else. I mean, he did it in 2020. He didn't really lose. It was everybody else's fault. There was cheating.
Yep.
He'll do the same thing again. And he'll be able to even use Vance to throw under the bus like he did to Pence.
Yep. And I'm going to delight in seeing that if it happens. Annie Fitzgerald with $5. Thank you, Annie. I made it through my primary. Wow, congratulations. I love to talk about the progressive alternative coalition I'm building in Washington State on Leftist Mafia sometimes. Yeah, that sounds amazing for sure. Reach out to us via email. Thank you, Sean.
Do that one.
Colt Dog, member for 12 months. I'm expecting Trump to do terrible during their debate. What are the chances he drops out before the election? Much love to y'all. He's not going to drop out.
Oh, yeah. 0%.
Again, he'd rather go through with it, lose, and then say he really won, but everyone else conspired against him. He's the true winner, but he was facing a vice president who sucked ass. He was facing the cheating Democrats. He'll blame the Republicans in the states that won't turn over the election for him. He'll do the same thing he did, and he'll save face in front of his people. Like he never lost in 2020 to his fans. He's not a loser to them. He actually won. He won so good that they had to conspire against him to make it look like he lost. And they'll just play that same card all over again.
Mm-hmm.
A85 Ramos with a super chat. $5 super chat. The thing about her not being able to say anything is, I feel, not true. The minimum she could say is the same ceasefire policy Biden pretends to have. Oh, she has
said that. Yeah. Yeah, she has said that.
Tunbosin again with a super chat. Viewers are expressing mixed views about the Cybertruck and the recent scandal surrounding Emma Viglin's gambling problem. What? Are you running this through like a fake AI thing to make it sound like a AI? Oh, are these? Hold on. Is this the YouTube AI summary?
Chat? Oh.
Have you guys seen this, right? I think that's what he's sending us.
I heard of it, but I haven't.
That's hilarious. I've seen it.
What?
So now if you
seen this.
Okay, if you join a live stream that's already in progress, YouTube has a new feature where at the top of the live chat, it shows a little pop-up box with an AI summary to catch you up about what the live chat commenters are currently saying. And so they'll just like this sounds exactly like what they say.
That's so ridiculous.
Wow.
This is hilarious, Tunbosid. If you see a funny AI summary of any of our streams, whether it be Leftist Mafia or our personal streams, please screenshot it or copy it like Tunbosin is and send that shit to us, because some of them are really hilarious.
God.
Who's got this?
Is this for me? YT commenter with a super chat was waiting for Natural Born Killers or Enter Sandman to interrupt JD Vance's speech in Philly. If you know, you know. Oh hell yeah, yeah! I'm wearing the shirt right now. EC Dub.
A85 Ramos, thank you for your super chat. It's such BS how they try to paint his military service, especially JD Vance, who did almost nothing in his service as a newspaper boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same. They're gonna go through the thing, the racism for Kamala Harris, and then for Walls, his military service.
It's not gonna resonate. Nobody gives a fuck about that.
No, it doesn't. This is the same. Apparently, they tried attacking him on that as like last time as well. The Republicans have nothing, right? Like they have no actual agenda, so they have to make shit up about people's history.
They thought it was going to be
them.
Shapiro, so now they're caught flat-footed again with somebody they didn't expect. They had the signs printed out at a JD Vance rally on the day she was going to announce, and those were Shapiro signs. And now they're like, "Fuck! What do we say now?"
Wait, hon, this isn't a super chat. Well, let me just mention that their attack on Tim Walz won't hit because it's literally the 24-year veteran didn't serve his time.
Yeah, it's so stupid.
Right.
But
so every other veteran that didn't actually get deployed, you're saying they're not a real veteran? Like that's going to turn off a lot of people who served.
They don't get to choose where they go. Like it's just fucking dumb.
Yeah.
This isn't a super chat, but I got to read it. FG says, this was earlier, Matt Binder. This is the AI summary they saw earlier. Viewers in the chat are discussing a controversial right-wing politician who just competed in a rap battle and lost badly, and her comments about being strong and gay.
Oh, that's amazing. Holy shit.
AI summary messed it up. It's weak and gay. It's not strong and gay.
Wow.
And she was doing a rap battle, although it'd be very funny if she did.
Here's another one.
Tunbosin with a $10 super chat. Viewers in the chat are commenting on the show guests Mar and Emma and are mostly criticizing Mar's creepy behavior towards Emma, specifically referencing a moment where he was seemingly hitting on her. Oh my God. So this was early on the Majority Report. We were watching a clip of Bill Maher interview the Hawk Tuah girl on his podcast.
Oh, okay.
And because Emma was talking about it, though, and I guess me and Brandon and Matt Leck and Bradley were saying Emma's name while talking, maybe, the AI summary got confused and thinks Bill Maher was acting creepy and hitting on Emma Vigland. That is really funny.
AI is so useless, my God. It is funny, though. The Matt Mercy, thank you for the $5. Biden has to go, but it still bugs me that the Dem candidate never won a single primary and won't be challenged in 2028. Walt's AOC 2032, I guess. No, I'm with you. I wish that there was a more robust primary, but I think that you could still make the case that Kamala was on the ticket with Biden, therefore she still got votes. Like when people voted for Biden, they did vote for her. It's not perfect. The primary was not fair. And yeah, that means we're not going to have a primary in 2028 if she wins. Having said that, though, the prospect of this being the end of the Trump era alone excites me. So, you know, crossing my fingers. But I get what you're saying for sure, Matt.
And if there was some kind of primary, it would have to be like really short, and people would be saying, "Oh, well, it wasn't a real primary, so she didn't really win the real primary." Like, you know, there's no winning.
Exactly.
Like, the situation is what it is, and she was the best choice based on the situation.
Yeah, Waltz is the favorite next time there is one.
Narrator, I still can't believe she picked Tim Walz. Like that's
it really is amazing.
Shocking.
It really is amazing.
Yeah, like we should feel like we won something here. Like we really should.
Yeah, I do. I feel like completely shocked.
It's like the
Democratic
perfect
Party.
choice. Out of all the choices, that was the perfect choice.
When do we get what we want as lefties? Never.
Like this is more of a reaching out to the left than any other. Like we were taking. We were like accepting the peanuts that Hillary Clinton in 2016 and Joe Biden in 2020 were offering, and we were like, "Well, we got our concessions.
Yeah,
we actually got something out of this."
Yeah, think about it. In 2016, Hillary's message to the left was "fuck you, vote for me," or "you want Donald Trump." 2020, Biden was like, "Listen, here's some Unity Commission bullshit with Bernie Sanders. He's saying vote for me, so do it, Jack, or fuck you." This time, Kamala's like, "I've got Tim Walz. What now?
Right.
What now?"
Right. We got the left got more concessions without primary than we have got out of the last two primaries with Bernie Sanders running.
Right. I mean... Such a great point. Narrator with $10. Thank you, narrator. The desire to view Harris's policy stance with regard to Palestine as being constrained by Biden isn't very different from the desire to lay the blame of genocide, the eventuality of an apartheid society, on Bibi. I think that Democrats are already kind of doing that with regard to Bibi to an extent where they're trying to use him as the scapegoat in order to not talk about the real issues and the underlying apartheid itself. So I see what you're saying, but I don't agree
Harris
because I think that Harris
is of course constrained by Biden.
Right, because she's part of that administration.
Like she's part of the administration. Like
it's a huge
It's not like this is like, oh, some pie in the sky concoction. No, she, of course, as the VP, cannot differ on an ongoing foreign policy issue as the vice president, because that would cause madness in the White. Like you can't have the VP have a completely different position on an ongoing foreign policy issue that is a serious issue with the president. Like, of course, it's a restraint.
Yeah, the VP has to go with what the president wants. The buck stops with the president of the United States. And if she's the president, it's going to be the same for Tim Walz. The VP can try to push them in a better direction.
Yeah,
but one
thing
that's become evident is that Kamala does not have any sway in that administration. Biden has marginalized her, and that's proven to actually be really bad for him because she's actually a really talented speaker. Like, we didn't really see Kamala. He didn't put her out there very often. She really kind of got a bad deal as the VP to Biden. So I think that the fact that he doesn't really see, and this is speculation, he doesn't seem to really take her seriously, shows that, you know, maybe that's a missed opportunity. Maybe she could if she had the opportunity to push him. I don't know. But at the end of the day, the VP is not going to deviate from the president in an explicit way. It's just not going to happen.
Still alive.
In her view, it's probably pointless too. With like, why is she gonna rock the boat with Biden, who she's gonna need obviously, with just like a few months left for him? Like, it makes no sense. Like, for us, obviously, every single minute of every day counts for, you know, what's going on in Gaza and the Palestinians there. But for her and the campaign and the situation she's in, it's just, she's got to just wait for Biden to be out before she could deviate from him in any meaningful way.
Yeah. Still Alive says Wall's response to the Italian thing should be a reenactment of Joe Pesci's scene from Goodfellas. Am I a clown? I amuse you, in his Minnesota accent.
Lizzie Bennett with a super chat. Here's a thought. Why not celebrate Rocky Balboa? I like Italian Americans who are not fiction. Let's go with that.
Yeah.
Okay.
AA5 Ramos with $5. Thank you. By the way, Matt, it's interesting how these campaign speeches have a feeling of wrestlers dropping promos in the chants. Hopefully not as repetitive, though.
Right.
Steven, thank you for your 100 PLN. What does orange mean again? That's like $10, right?
I don't
Or
know.
it might be 20. Thank you. Very
I think it's
generous.
20.
I appreciate it.
Narrator with a super chat. Did you ever watch the free and equal presidential debate? What do you think about Harris debating Stein and Oliver with an empty podium for Trump? I mean, they would be. I haven't watched it yet, and I agree that every candidate should get a chance to make their case to the American people. But from Harris's perspective, it would be absolutely pointless.
Yeah.
It would be much more meaningful for her to actually just debate an empty podium, than even bother with people up there who are like debating with her as if they have equal chance of winning, which they don't. Also, Trump seems to have, from what I last saw, Trump has seemingly agreed to debate her today. So
Now he's behind in the polls, aggregate polling data, by the way. So he kind of is the one that needs the debate now.
Right. JHLFCSC with a $10 super chat. Mafia is a libertarian terrorist organization that actively plagues the entire south of Italy and much of the diaspora abroad. It is extremely offensive to us to use that term in a glorified manner. This is a joke, right?
Anti-Italian discrimination.
Bitey face puppy guy with $5 Canadian. Thank you. The Italians are mad because Walsh wouldn't pardon Polly Walnuts Gualtieri when he was sitting in the can for jacking that truck full of walnuts. That's a banger.
JHLFSC with another $10 super chat. Italians are not taken seriously on the right or the left. Would you say leftist ISIS? I can only hope this comes out of ignorance of the plight of the poorest and most oppressed region in all of Europe. This can't be serious.
Binder's Italian, so everything we do it's okay.
Yeah.
I have Italian friends.
Mamma mia. Mamma mia.
There you go. 85 Ramos, thank you. Says honeymoons are fun, but Kamala really needs to talk with journalists. The bare minimum policies on her campaign page. In real life, people mention this to me. I saw her speaking with journalists today. I do agree. Of course, she should talk to the press.
John Jeffrey with a super chat. St. Patrick was Italian. You can have him. Wait, what? St. Patrick was Italian? Hold on.
Why don't Italians
Hold the
fight the Irish over this then? Maybe it should be your day.
White people fight. White people fight.
No. St. Patrick was born at the end of Roman rule in Britain. Sorry, no, he's a UK person. He was born. I don't care who rules what.
Believe me, the Italians would try to lay claim to him if it was Italian.
Looney Tunes 9000 with a super chat. We need to get the Vanguard Boys and Sandy Lovas on Leftist Mafia since Mike appeared on those two shows yesterday. Oh yeah, both those would be great. We've had
Mike making the rounds.
Yeah,
we've had the Vanguard Boys on here before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they've been on before.
Yeah, we'll bring them back, and we got to get Sandy on sometime.
Old Grease. Thank you for your super chat. Regarding Halloween, Disney bizarrely is the single voice of reason on Earth.
I don't get what. I don't get that either.
Thank you for your super chat, Old Grease.
Angelo Henry with $4.99. Thank you so much. Mike, you should look up this TV lawyer called Sweet James. He looks suspiciously like you. I did a quick Google search because I don't know who that is.
No, you
oh
look
my
better.
God.
That guy looks weird.
That's who you think.
No, that
like.
one. That one he doesn't look so much like you.
Oh,
but the other ones he looks a lot like you. Like that one right there, he looks like you.
I don't think you look like Mike.
hair-
You just got a guy with glasses and a beard.
The hairline.
You think I look like this straight guy?
You have the better hairline.
Fuck you, Angelo.
I just don't think you look like him either. I could see him. Just a white guy with a beard and glasses. Old Grease. Thank you again for your super chat. I've heard strongly mixed things about Walls. People say he was instrumental in crackdowns on land defenders. I'm disappointed too. I'm sure I'm sure he doesn't have a perfect record but in terms of the choices that were available,
right?
It was the best.
Someone mentioned that Disney comment was about how Disney starts celebrating Halloween in August. So that person was saying they have the right idea.
Oh, my friend's one of these guys too. He fucking loves Halloween. Like he's just like
I'm one of those people.
Can't wait till the fall.
I wish that I was one of those people. Those people are just so quirky and cool. Yeah, this is not me.
This is not me.
This is me. No, sorry. I meant to say. My point, me saying is that you. I was talking to Binder about the Halloween thing because I didn't hear who you said.
Like David wants to he's changing that conversation real quick.
No, it wasn't me changing the conversation.
But we've been here.
Now that we've moved on,
so
I will
much
change
left.
the conversation. I'm already kind of like discombobulated. I may have to run through mine at some point.
Yeah, it's late.
I am B Sauce. Thank you for your chat. Says, do you think Kamala picking Walls says anything about how she'll govern? We can. I mean, it's just speculation. I mean, possibly. Clearly, his record does not bother her. The fact that he was able to accomplish all those things as governor with a 1-seat majority did not bother her.
That she wants to do, by the way,
so
which is
it
why
doesn't
she
hurt.
chose.
Yeah, and a lot of those things she wants to do. Mm-hmm. So I don't think it hurts.
Actually, for me, the big thing is that he clearly was not the Democratic consultant pick. And she had all these consultants in her ear telling her who to pick, and it wasn't Tim Walz. And she basically said, I don't care, I'm picking Tim Walz. To me, that is huge. Yeah. That's not something that usually happens. So maybe she won't listen to the consultants who are trying to make it sure that she's perfectly, politically untouched and never rocks the boat and supports all
like
the
Obama,
same.
basically, like everyone around him tried to do.
The consultants, if she doesn't listen to them, she could be one of the best presidents ever. The bar is low, but like the consultants are so fucking stupid. So just not listening to them and Democratic Party strategists would make a huge difference.
That E-Flat guy, thank you for your super chat. St. Francis also tried to promote peace to end the Crusades. After meeting with Sultan al-Kamil, he went back to Italy to ask the Pope to end it.
That's it. I'm gonna start it right now. Make St. Francis of Assisi Day the official Italian American holiday. We gotta push for that. No more Columbus Day. Columbus.
I get behind that.
Seth Wade with $5. Thank you, Seth. Gomez is a straight fash. She's no Missourian. We've got nothing in common. If Missouri Republicans saw her in a bar, they'd try and order food from her. Yeah, I mean, I think that she is somebody who doesn't she's a fascist for sure. I don't think she actually has any real political beliefs, though. I think that she is kind of just trying to get attention. I mean, nobody's going to pay attention to a fucking Secretary of State race in Missouri. So she very clearly wanted to make a national name for herself, and she did it. But as Rebecca was saying, that's just going to follow her for the rest of her life. It's not a good look. So, now she's going to be known as the crazy lady who said the F slur and said that, the gays wanted to kill her dog and her dad or poison her dog. It's just fucking weird.
Mike, you got to do a parody video of that one where she says the F slur and just say exactly what she says, but replace the F slur with the strike it. Those Stragets have to play their own Straget category.
Straget.
Nadia Yvette Chambers, thank you so much for the member super chat. The internet started 22:30 PST 29 October 1969. My Gen X 90s experience was miserable. Maybe you meant pre-1970 Gen Xers. My post-Nixon Gen X friends too. That's a lot of numbers for it being so late, but Yeah.
I'm trying to decipher the super chat.
Different timelines. And I'm like, okay, the cogs are slowing the fuck down right now. That's a lot to kind
We
of take in.
appreciate the super chat. Thank you.
Yes. Yes. Blue X with $2. Thank you. Leftist Liberal Coalition ceasefire to end MAGA. Yes, I have respected the ceasefire. Liberals, hold up your end of the bargain, okay? We don't get along, but we have a ceasefire, and then on November 6th, we fucking destroy each other, okay?
Old Grease, correcting an earlier super chat, it appears, to say, get the couch off. I thank you for the super chat. I could find the context, but I would lose my brain. Is this for me too? Kowalski, we getting a native-born Nebraskan progressive VP. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Kowalski's pumped about that. He's been super happy about that.
I can see that.
The Matt Mercy with a super chat. Imagine being a Tesla shareholder and giving Elon $68 billion. That isn't confirmed yet. Last I checked. Last I saw. We'll see what happens there.
Is this person in the chat being serious? I'm truly shocked that mocking one of the most marginalized and oppressed region in the global south is fucking hilarious. Reduced to Mario and Luigi jokes. The Mafia is a global RT wing terrorist organization. Mamma mia! I can't believe you get that outraged.
I don't think I've ever seen anyone refer to Italy as the global south. So I think they're joking.
The global south. Come on. No, Italy. I'm sorry. Is not a part of the global south.
Bro, shut the fuck up.
That's gotta be a joke.
I know
That's
they're
gotta be a
joking,
joke.
but if you're not joking,
that's hilarious.
shut
They
up.
are 100% joking. That is now that I know
Yeah,
they're joking.
no, that's hilarious.
Well played,
Although
because
I am
that shit
now
is
gonna
funny.
I'm gonna now call Italy the global south. I mean, I guess in terms of Europe, they would be the global south.
Well, yeah,
of
I'm
the
thinking of the map. I guess you can cut them out, like, include them
See,
in
what
it.
I would do to really piss off the Italians is that Sicily is what Staten Island is to New York City. And then and there you go. Let's go with wait, this one's mine. Yeah, Bay Photo with member for 13-month super chat. Balls to the walls, right?
Amen.
Still Alive says, who do you think will impersonate Tim Walz on Saturday Night Live? A few brought up how he bears a striking resemblance to Steve Martin.
Steve Martin turned it down. Steve Martin turned it down. I saw an article. He actually says Lorne Michaels called him, offering him the role. He said he told Lorne Michaels, "You need an impressionist. I'm not an impressionist. I just wear glasses and have gray hair."
I mean, I don't blame him for not wanting to work. I'd be like, I'm retired, bro.
Oh, this is for me. I'm sorry. Aaron Butcher, thank you so much for the $2. You can eat some mold as a treat. Oh, well, thank you so much. I'm going to do that. Carrie Shaw with $19.99. My goodness, thank you so much. That is so kind. I said to my mom, of course the assassination was real. Has Trump ever hired someone competent? God damn. That's a line. Schmakatrotsky with $5. Thank you. Thanks, David, Matt, and Mike, for delivering such incredible analysis of the political hellscape. Been listening to y'all for years. Much love. Thank you so much. I love seeing comments like that. That is so kind. I really appreciate you saying that. Thank you. The Matt Mercy, thank you for the $2. Curious how Vance wears more eyeliner than MCR, My Chemical Romance, for those who don't know. Yeah, he's laying it on way too thick. A little bit of eyeliner is fine, but like he's making it too fucking obvious.
Emma Vigeland believes that he just has really dark eyelashes and that he's not wearing makeup.
I would honestly, I'd be surprised if he wore. Because if he's caught, then he's, he doesn't want to wear makeup for his audience.
If you're regularly on TV, it's not so crazy to wear a little bit of eyeliner, honestly. But I was looking at old
for a
pictures
Republican,
of him.
I think it does.
Yes, but I was looking at old pictures of him, and he has that same look around his eyes. I think he actually just has really dark eyelashes. Unless he's been wearing eyeliner since like college without any TV cameras around. Maybe he is My Chemical Romance.
I don't know. I feel like that's eyeliner. I mean, I could be wrong, but it That's an eyeliner look. Like he's trying to be
He's
subtle.
Republican. Why the fuck does he want to get caught wearing eyeliner?
Look at Trump. He has fucking makake all over his face, and he doesn't even apply it evenly.
That's different. Trump is his own. He's like an enigma. He could do what the fuck he wants. Doesn't really matter.
We'll know the truth night of election day when the results come in. If JD Vance comes out and starts singing, "I'm not okay," then we know he was wearing eyeliner, okay?
Or if he starts crying, if there's a video of him crying and tears streaming and it holds,
Yeah,
then,
he's not going to risk that.
Then
happening.
he doesn't have, or he could have really good eyeliner that doesn't stream. I don't know. I'm not a makeup expert, so I have no idea. Zero PE, thank you so much for the $4.99. Appreciate you always. Hey, Mike, you got some socials for the guy that does your music because the new Coconut Tree one is a certified banger. Yeah, so that one is Raw Heats. It's at Raw Heats, Heats with a Z. I buy his beats, so he's not the guy who I work with directly. That's Lord Magnus, but he didn't make that one. But Raw Heats always does really, really good music.
Let's hear this. I want to hear this Coconut Tree banger while we read the rest of these.
I played it on the show before. Do you remember my Kamala video, my hypnosis video? It was that beat, but that's also my outro.
Okay, I think I remember that. All right.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm gonna run through mine because I need to go to bed. Nikki O'Brien, cool. Damn Matt, I'm trying to be kind.
I don't remember what this is about.
180 Chan, thank you. Don't be complacent. Don't presume victory. Vote, vote, vote. Show Trump we reject his BS. 100%. I need a new dentist from Maddie Mercy. I need a new dentist. Mine thinks 2020 was stolen. I need a new dentist. Mine thinks 2020 was stolen. Yeah. Why do we hear a lot of dentist stories about dentists that are weird, that believe weird shit? I've heard that before. Bay Photo, where are you? There you are. Suppose we could loan Canada our Nancy Pelosi to pump up the left and help defeat Pierre Poilievre. All we need is the strategies. We don't need the source. The Maddie again says squad should do a Byron Brown. FMK, Trump, Elon, RFK. I'm not doing that.
God, that's awful.
How about K me? How about that?
Yeah, right.
There's no winners there.
There's no.
We didn't even talk about the RFK Jr. thing.
Yeah, that's how crazy this week is.
I know. It's just like I don't know. For me, it's like, of course, RFK did some weird shit with a bear. Like,
yeah,
of course,
it's a freak show.
Justin Kosak, thank you. Says thanks, guys. Was scared of being judged over voting. Well, no. I'm not going to judge you over voting. Believe me. 885 Ramos says there are times I see campaign crowds going crazy, and I wish I was still there mentally. Happy for them though. Thanks, Obama.
Right. Exactly, Ramos.
Narrator sent 10, but there's no. Oh, maybe it's gone now. Maybe narrator didn't like when I talked back to him. It says $10, but I can't find it in the list. So the next one is Rundamill. Rundamill. Where am I? Man, I feel like I'm Joe Biden, where it's like I hit a certain age and it's just like a certain time, and it's just like down a cliff. I'm off a cliff. It's like my brain does not work anymore.
My brain doesn't work in the morning and then in the evening. There's a window. It's not 4 to 8. Or whatever Biden's was, 8 to 4 p.m. I think it was. Mine is longer than that, thankfully.
Where the fuck is this? I can't even find it.
I bet looking back, I can't believe they said that as like a defense, as if it was completely normal. The president of the United States shuts off at 4 p.m. and you can't turn them back on until 8 the next morning.
Yeah,
you have to understand that's like that was their like. Don't worry, guys. This explained why he shit the bed at the debate. It's like what? No.
I was like, oh, okay, I get it. It's relatable. that's me during super chats at about 11:30. Rundamill, hey Mike, are you Mexican? David, you're the man. Mike is Portuguese.
Yes. When I talk about like Mexican family members, it's like my nieces, but I am Portuguese myself.
And the last one, Desiree Hart, thank you so much for your $10. Very generous. I live in East Tennessee, and something I noticed, the only thing mega folks can't stand is appearing weak / beta. And I've personally seen some of them waver on Trump since his recent behavior towards Walz. Interesting. Walz is a guy where it's like he's like a kryptonite. He's a kryptonite for the right, because he is what they claim to be. Like this guy, was in the military, football coach, is not a career politician, is actually a good person from a rural area, small town, hillbilly, all that shit. He's legit, and he's actually a good person.
Yeah.
All right. Good night.
God bless,
Good
David.
night.
Take care, David.
Goodbye.
All right, Matt, do we want to just run through ours one by one? I think it'll be quicker. We've got quite a bit, and I'm getting
Yeah,
tired.
sure. You want to do that?
Yeah, I'll do mine, and then I'll pull up yours as you read yours, okay?
Sounds good.
All right, so 0PE, thank you again, 199. Appreciate you. It was cool to see you on Left of the Box, Mike. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Everybody go check out Left of the Box. I was on Sandy Lobos's show, and it was really a good time. My next one is from 180K Chan, $5. Thank you so much. Remember, try get family and friends registered to vote. More numbers, the better. Yeah, that's a really great strategy. If you don't feel comfortable, canvassing or putting in the work, it's really easy to just talk to people you know. So I would recommend that. A85 Ramos with $5. Thank you, Ramos. Could Wall serve as a template as to what the future of the Dems should be if they win? Would love for Gretchen / Bashir to follow as examples after. It's very possible. There are some presidents who they set a blueprint for the party. Clinton did this in a bad way after FDR. Clinton was kind of responding to Reagan, so he did triangulation. And then every Democrat has been doing triangulation since Clinton. Biden is the first one to kind of signal that he wants to change that. But I mean, if Walz is gonna, change the game and try to do a realignment of the party, I would welcome it. I'd love if he had an influence, in the future. Okay, the Matt Mercy with $2. Thank you, Matt. I just don't get the evangelicism on voting blue versus green. Yeah, I don't either. It really gets people fired up, and I just don't like. I feel like I've had the conversation a million times, and it doesn't really lead to anywhere. So I'm with you. I'm just people are gonna do what they're gonna do. So I'm kind of over it. Another one from Matt Mercy, $2. Look up Aiden Ross figures out what fascism means. I saw that. It's very funny. Yeah, and also he apparently thinks that Biden is the one who overturned abortion and he's in favor of abortion rights, but he's a Trump supporter. He's very stupid. I think he eats paint chips on his free time. That's how stupid I think he is. So yeah, Aiden Ross is he's quite the dipshit. Sage and Candle with $5. Thank you. Tried engaging with Eric Sorensen, who sent me an email asking me to thank him for voting funding for Israel. Is he progressive, really? So Eric Sorensen sent you an email asking you to thank him? That's really weird. I'm not familiar with Eric Sorensen, but if any politician is emailing you and asking you to thank them for anything, that's a red flag. So don't thank the politician for that. That's fucking weird. What the hell? Narrator with $5. Thank you, Narrator. Love you guys. Love you too. But this sucks. I wasn't thinking about you guys specifically, but the target to move is her position. That's the focus. I hear you, Narrator. We always know where you're coming from. We disagree, but understand, we know that you're coming from a good place and from a good faith criticism. So I appreciate you, Narrator, for sure. Nadia Yvette Chambers with $5. Thank you, Nadia. Repubs have an agenda, though they try to keep it under wraps. CF Frank Schaefer's video on Mike Johnson. Trump is their Cyrus, not their agenda. Yeah, that's true. I think they do have an agenda. They just don't know. They don't know how to promote their agenda because they know it's not popular. So they kind of have to beat around the bush, and tap dance around what they really want because they don't want to say, hey, we want to ban abortion in all 50 states. So that's why they're struggling when it comes to the campaign. Andrew S., $10. Thank you so much. Very kind. Saw an article mentioning about how USA Olympians were excited that they can have medical benefits for competing. We live in a hellhole country. Please keep protesting for Medicare for all. Absolutely. That's really, I haven't seen that article, but that's very dystopian, where you have to find ways to get medical care. That's, the amount of people that are just sticking with their job because they want healthcare is ridiculous. So I watched this guy. He's a gaming YouTuber. He plays a lot of Souls games, Fighting Cowboy. And he has so many, more than 1 million subs, I think. And he's still, he has a 9 to 5 because he wants healthcare specifically. He said this before. He just casually talked about it. It's really ridiculous. Let's see. The next one is from Not Laws 2. Thank you for the $5. Appreciate you. Ever see that movie where a piece of cheese is abandoned by his family at Christmas? Prove alone. Oh, that's good. That's a good dad joke. I like that. Thank you. No message here, but thank you. Death on a Plate. Appreciate you. And then we have Autistic Goblin, new member. Thank you so much, Autistic Goblin. And then we've got a $10 super chat from Autistic Goblin, and really appreciate that. I'm tired of the battle between you're racist if you don't vote Kamala and you support genocide if you vote for Kamala. Thank you for piling on the positivity and building the coalition. Absolutely. Listen, we're lefties. We're never going to get what we want, okay? Even like a socialist politician like Bernie Sanders, he was mostly, a sock dem. So we do the best we can. We're all just trying to make it and improve the world a little bit, okay? So let's not be too hard on ourselves. Let's try to have fun and not breathe down each other's throats and fight all the time. But that's it for me, Matt.
All right. That from Librarian. It's their very first super chat on a live stream, according to YouTube.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that? Because right when you said that,
did you find it?
Can you say the name?
Crit. Yep.
Oh, Critlit Librarian.
Librarian.
There we go.
Hold on, hold on, something's going on with my internet connection. Give me a second.
Okay.
Hold on, I'm gonna jump back in the feed, okay? Give me a second.
Okay. I've got a couple more. So while he's doing that, I'll just read those. November DeMarc with $10. Wow, thank you. Very, very kind. I just want to say, Mike, I watch your channel daily, and your sense of humor really helps me get by living in Bama. Hey, that means a lot. Thank you for saying that. I really appreciate that, and glad that it helps. JCass with $2. One last thing, duty balls. Thank you so much, JCass. Well said. Okay, I'm not sure if Matt's coming back. Matt, can you hear me? I'm screaming into the ether right now. I feel like if we were able to end on JCass's duty balls, that would be perfect. Progressive Voice. I am using StreamYard to pull up super chats. You just click it on the side, and then it comes up like that. And we've lost Matt. So I know that the crit lit. I almost said the clit lit. The crit lit. Let me find it. I'm sorry. I know that's where he left off. How big of a Kamala fan are you? I'm the biggest fan in the world. Okay, I'm going to give it 5 minutes, and if Matt doesn't come back, then I'll end the stream, because I wouldn't know where to start with his super chats. And I don't have the brain power to filibuster for 5 minutes until he gets back, because I'm very tired. Let me try to find my place, though, at least. There we go. There we go. Okay, since he's not here, we have 5 minutes. Free super chat time. I'm looking at the regular chat. So ask questions. What the fuck? The things I see when I look at the regular chat or the Twitch chat. There he is. He's back.
Hey, you hear me?
Oh. Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, you came back and you went robo for a second, but...
Uh-oh, how do I sound now? Am I fine?
You sound perfect right now, yeah.
Okay, good.
I was giving it 5 minutes, and then I was going to put the stream out of its misery if you didn't return.
Uh-oh, I'm sorry. Hold on, I got to open up my YouTube Creator Studio now. So
no, you're good. I have one more anyway. Michael Jones with $10. Thank you. Quick plug, awesome leftist folk musician available on YouTube, Jesse Wells. His music has been helping me cope. Might help y'all. Very cool. I've not heard of them. I'll check them out. Everybody else do the same. Nadia with $2. Thank you, Nadia. Our agenda includes capital punishment for sodomy. Does it really? The Republican agenda? Do they have that in there? That's like so fucking ridiculous. It might be in Project 2025, but either way, it doesn't surprise me. They're freaks. They're always thinking about that.
Oh, my internet is going, I think. Uh-oh.
Is
All right,
it?
let's go for as long as I can.
Okay.
Could you still hear me? Could you still
I
hear
can
me?
still hear you. Yeah, just read as many as you can. I'll try to find
All
them
right.
on the screen.
All right. Crit Lit Librarian with a $5 super chat, their very first super chat on a live stream. Thank you, Crit Lit. Check out this Pew Research chart. Gen X is not overwhelmingly right-leaning, kind of average. Again.
Okay.
They are, in the exit polls I've seen, they do vote Trump. So I don't know what every poll is going to be a little bit different, though. NC Sketchy with a super chat. I feel Trump is the type of guy, once he thinks he can't win, he's just going to phone in the election. I think we are nearing that point. Low energy. I think so too. $10 super chat from Narrator. Thank you, Narrator. I can't speak for Becca, but I'll say blackness only exists within white supremacy. So if there's any question, I don't use phenotypes to claim another's blackness. I allow them to claim it themselves. A85 Ramos with a $5 super chat. Okay, but for real, you got Biden to flop, so he would drop out. Then got Kamala, so she would choose Waltz. So leftist mafia, what are your next directions to Pelosi? Well, I mean, we all work in tandem. We all work in tandem. She's like she's like a member. She's like the leader of one of the other families. And sometimes we work in cahoots, and sometimes we go to battle and go to war with each other. It all depends on what we're looking to do. That's just how it is. The leftist mafia works with the Pelosi's sometimes, and the Pelosi's work with the leftist mafia sometimes. All right, you see? We don't mess with the Pelosi family. The Pelosi family don't mess with us, and it all works out until it doesn't.
Bada bing, bada boom.
Capiche? Narrator with a $5 super chat. Please do not naturalize that part of being a politician. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's been a while. They're probably referencing something specific. I'm sorry, Narrator. I don't remember.
So ran with a $5 super chat. As someone from Minnesota, I get a sense of Waltz like I did from Paul Wellstone, that he's in it to help people. Yeah, I can see that. Yep. Yeah, all right, this is a whole bunch of super chats from Narrator. Each of them $5 a pop. Wow, thanks, Narrator. I'm gonna read them all off in a row so we could, make it go faster. Narrator, here we go. Vote for who you want, but if you believe somehow that not voting or voting for a particular candidate will create the change they believe in, next super chat, there are 0 protesters. Journalists telling their audience that Harris will flip on Palestine affects the desire people have to protest Harris. Next super chat. I am hopeful for Harris with regards to Palestine. I don't feel the need to claim she's further to the left than she herself states. That's the difference. Next super chat. I will not use Palestine for a Harris vote. I will use my Harris vote for Palestine. I think that's a perfect way to put it, Narrator, and I agree with you, honestly. I don't know what the difference is with us here. Yeah. Yeah. And interesting that Narrator said they're going to vote for Harris. There we go.
That's actually a really good way to frame it, though.
Yeah. The Matt Mercy with the super chat. Imagine Trump gets wrecked, then wins the 2032 primary.
It's possible.
Yeah. I'm not too old, folks. A85 Ramos with a super chat. About Kamala and the ceasefire policy, I meant for her to add it to her stump speeches. I know she said, I hear you. It's what I meant.
Okay.
A85 Ramos, I hear you. I see you.
That makes sense. Thanks for clarifying.
Now sit down and shut up. I'm talking.
Okay, what do we have next?
Robert with a $10 super chat. Their first super chat in a live stream as well. After watching Wallace speak for the first time with Harris, he did a fist bump at the end, and my immediate thought was, this guy is the hacksaw Jim Duggan of VPs. John Jeffrey with a super chat, talking about St. Patrick. I'm assuming his parents were Romans. Oh, I didn't know that.
No, I think they're talking about Tim Walz. Oh, it's late.
Oh, no. I don't know why I found that so funny, but it's very funny. Oh my God.
I mean,
oh no, the right wingers might use that against him. Oh, you killed Jesus. You know what they say? When in Rome, do as the waltzes. John Jeffrey. Oh, I read this one already. Okay. J Cass with a super chat. Lunch break. Night shift sucks. Night shift sucks. But appreciate y'all.
Night shift does suck.
I appreciate you, J Cass. You know, just I don't know why, but your super chat made me think she left me roses by the stairs. Surprises let me know she cares. Because work sucks, I know. T King with a super chat. JF has legitimate criticism about Mafia in Italy. What are we talking about? I don't even know.
Is that the person in the chat who is getting mad at us?
Oh yeah, listen, we're joking here. We're joking here. I'm crying. I'm literally crying right now. I'm in tears over Tim Walz the Roman.
Okay, I think this is the last one I want to say, right? For you?
Yeah, and then Twitch, unfortunately for you.
Okay.
There's not much on Twitch.
Okay.
In fact, I can do Twitch really quick right now because it's just Justin Freakin rated me earlier. Thank you so much, Justin Freakin, and that's pretty much it. Oh wait, Surveillance Plant, subscribe at Prime. Thank you, Surveillance Plant. And then Andrew S with a super chat. One last thing, Matt. Did you hear about the AI bubble about to burst? Your thoughts? I think I don't think it's going to be gone completely, but I do think people are starting to realize, especially the people who have invested in it heavily, that there's little to no return. It's all hopes of what can be and nothing that is. I mean, it's the opposite of the Kamala thing. I think I was sounding like her. AI is burdened by what can be and not by what is, because what is not very much. Again, I think the only really helpful sort of AI thing I've come across, and I'm talking about strictly really AI, not automation, because automation's existed and people like to shoehorn that in as AI in order to prop up AI. Actual AI is like those subscription services where like you hand it a YouTube link and it finds like the best moments and cuts it into like short TikTok shareable bite-sized stuff.
Yeah,
and I think
those
that's
are great.
because it's not taking away from any artistic value. You still have to create the content. It's just helping you create like the short social media versions of the content you're already creating. So
What
I think
program
those
is that called? Do you know? I need to get on that.
The big one is Opus. There's a bunch of them, but the big one is Opus. Opus.pro.
Okay, I need to get on that.
Um,
we got one more here. A85 Ramos, $5. Thank you. Just saw Matt live get asked about tech and lock the fuck in and answer. He's the tech guy.
Oh wait, there's one more. There's one more from me too. Real quick.
Okay.
The Matt Mercy with the super chat. You think Vance eats the loose candy in the couch too? Ugh.
I hope not. After what he does to it.
Ugh.
All right, who are we rating?
Who are we rating? Let's see who's on.
Let's see.
Oh yeah, folks. While really quick, while we're looking at who's going to rate, I wanted to remind people. It always sounds like I cut an ad when I do this, but there's only a few days left, and people have actually been interested in this. Twitch is giving away a free 3 months of Apple TV Plus to anyone who gives a Twitch subscription to their favorite creator. You literally get to give, like, if you're going to give a subscription to Mike or myself or anyone that you like, I just want to give you guys a heads up. When you subscribe to a new creator, like not a new creator, you subscribe to a creator for the first time or a resubscription for the first time, like you resubscribe. Twitch is giving people 3 free months of Apple TV Plus. If that interests you, people, money's tight. Streaming services are expensive. You could cancel your Netflix or whatever for 3 months and get Apple TV Plus for free. Just letting you guys know. All right, who do you want to rate on Twitch?
We should rate our girl, Riverboat Jack. She's on right now.
Oh wait, hold on.
Easy choice.
Pull them up. Hell yeah. Let's raid Riverboat Jack. Hold on. Are you pressing it yet?
Yeah, I just pressed it to queue it up. It's counting down.
Yeah, I'm doing that right now. We got the countdown going.
Thank you, the Blue Witch on Twitch. Really appreciate the kind message.
All right, folks. Here we go. You ready?
I'm ready.
That's the show. They'll see you next week. It'll be streaming on my channels next week as well. I won't be here next week, but I'm gonna try to make it for the week after, which is the my birthday eve.
Oh,
I wouldn't make it for the whole show. I'd make it for like the super chat portion at the very end. We'll see though. All right, guys. Take care.
Take care.